at around $32. What a move that was above 32. And this is a very, very clean area. Look at the $30 area support. Then it's $32 area support. We'll see if it ends up being 36 here, that the next area of support, because there's a lot of interactions with that $36 level. So be on the lookout. But this one could see 40 quick as you like. And if you're a small cap trader and you have the time, don't stay tuned. That's not what I'm trying to say. Wait for 4 o'clock for HTCO if it doesn't give you anything now, because this one could absolutely rip in the aftermarket once it catches that bid, once the exchange is shut off, the volatility halt parameters, and this one can move as it likes willy-nilly without being stopped. HTCO could be a monster play. With the same idea, watch for this one to be a monster short tomorrow, okay? This, first red day, as Luis would say, this could be very, very good both ways. Long in the aftermarket, and then short, we wake up in the pre tomorrow, take a look at it. Is it gapping down, gapping up? What's the situation? HTCO could be a monster play to the downside, and we're going to send you now to your boy Joey Options on the afternoon show, and then he's going to do his thing with the Katina man who's at the big board.
All right, guys, welcome back. Now, we talk about multiple styles of trading, but I think there's one that really stands out more than others. Extremely popular, but there's specific things that we need to identify when we are trading this particular style. Guys, let's talk a little bit about breakout trading.
All right, here we go. It's breakout, baby. And this is actually a great example here because we have a super hot stock. And what is that stock? It is Intel. I mean, just look at how this just kept on gravitating, lifting itself all the way to the high side. And so, when you're looking to make these kind of trades, you're looking for stocks that have catalysts. You're looking for reasons for it to break out. Well, what better than this key level right here? $87. We hit it 2 days ago. And look, we're trying to break it today. So all of a sudden, at open, we get close to that level. And we say, hey, this is a hot stock. It's in the right space. It's got the chip news. It's got investors. It's really starting to go. We're heading into earnings season now. So let's wait to see what happens with Intel, right? This is how it looks on the daily chart. It actually doesn't look much better than this. You get escalation. You get it moving to the high side right here. You get a nice little bump up today. You see Intel's up on the day. So, hey, why wouldn't we take the long? This breakout actually looks fantastic. Let's throw it back to the desk for real quick talk here from Joe about this breakout potential here on Intel. And then I'll go and show you, I'll dive down into the 1 minute chart, and then we'll have a quick little look to see what happened during the day here on Intel. But it's looking great. It's heading into 87 here, Joe. So this kind of a stock looks prime for a breakout.
Prime for a breakout. There's multiple things that we can take into factor when we're looking for specific names to break either support or resistance zones. What we want to focus on essentially is the tape. Is the tape strong? And most importantly, when we're looking for a breakout, what is the volume telling us? If the volume isn't supporting the move, the chance of us finding any form of continuation starts to dwindle. Let's take a look at what Intel did on this breakout.
Has no problem with volume. This actually happens right away, almost in the first half hour of trading. And here's that same $87 marked again, just on a 1 minute time frame. So as we look at Intel, we say, what exactly happened here with Intel? Well, look, here it is. Market opens up, escalation through, hold the view up, right back up to 87. So you're like, okay, here we go. This looks like we're going to pop through this level, right? No, big time rejection right here. So this is a failed breakout. And it's not like we thought 87 was going to hold or rip through. The best way to treat this kind of a stock is when it's heading into that key level. Look, let's go back another one. This is 87 up there, right? Let's go forward. This is 87 right here on the minute chart. So this is the same day, but we have a failed break. What I think we have to do is when we have an example of 87 up here ticking through and not going, the best idea is to wait for it to hold 87. So here comes the price right up into that level one more time. And look, it does not hold. This is 5 minutes, banging its head again, banging its head. The move back down into the 25 period. Tries again, and then whoosh. The sellers come in and say, hey, look, if we can't take out 87 and hold above it, then we must fall back in. Do we think it still takes it? Yes, I do, right? This is a very strong stock, still has some upward momentum to it. But I feel like, especially when we're already testing a past breakout level, the best things to do is Let's wait, let it break through that high, dance around, and then we'll use it as support instead of resistance. This is a failed breakout today on Intel, but hey, we could have got away from it very, very easily because it does not hold that level. So you can't break out if you actually don't go through.
Absolutely. It's either a breakout or a potential fake out. Guys, multiple things that we can look at and put it into place. Is like, where is the volume? Is there demand here? What is the options chain telling us as well? So Intel been on a big time run, but it doesn't look like for today's session, as we're trading within the range, that we are going to continue this move. There is no demand north of 87, and we can tell that on the volume and the tape as well too. So not too bad of a look, multiple strong sessions, but today, not participating in the full-on recovery here in the market. Now, as for NVDA continuing to climb, I'm not in anything right now. I got to shut the platform down over there, and then sure enough, we will look to find some more potential trades. Multiple attempts on Bitcoin. We have the AMD trade as it's continuing to climb higher, so that's looking good off of the lows. Multiple things. Is this a new all-time high on NVDA?
Oh,
yes,
you know,
it is.
you know it.
250.68. There you go. Face.
Great call, man. We called about this.
Man.
I mean, look at this, man. We're now $1.50 in the money here on NVIDIA. And I just sat down here at like this is 1:30. And I was just like, you know what, man? This is exactly that example that we sort of had. Not exactly, but it's an example that we had there on the big board. And that was just that, could we break through? Could we break through and hold? Well, we break through 214, comes back in, breaks through again, comes back in, holds. That next breakout, we go, let's go, man, because we had an easy out. This out actually, I don't know, a little bit. I wish we had more shares. I mean, we did take a good amount of shares here. This was a 15-cent stop. You know, we were going to stop out on a break of 214, right here, right where this 25-period moving average was. So now we're up in the money now, $1.30, $1.40. So this is going to be about 8, 9, 10 to 1 right now as we just continue the escalation to the north side on NVDA. And in fact, let's take another piece out right there at 57. So we'll take another piece out there and just watch this thing continue to go. So we're really happy with that one. And thank you so much for that little look there, Joe. We have trade breakouts. What a great midday show it was with Sharif. I saw Sharif posting something about kettlebells. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Outshine me over there, Sharif? Come on, man. I liked it. I liked the form, Sharif. Some criticisms. I'll talk to you about that later. But so far, so good on that one. The salmon was pretty good. Did you get a chance to have it? No, you did not, I guess, because you're on the midday all day, so I won't spoil it for you. But salmon well cooked. And I don't know if it was roasted or grilled or a combination of both, but it was a good one there as well. So we like that one today on that Intel talk, and there goes NVIDIA. And Joe and I actually started the day, and I remember we were like, hey man, we're long. Our cash is in the market, but where are we trying to do some damage in? And it was just a sort of consolidation at NVIDIA. We were throwing some shade at NVIDIA for quite a while here. Just the fact that it hadn't done anything for 8, 9 months. And that, if shade is facts, then that's both, because it hadn't really done anything. It had disappointed us earnings were great, actually, both times. Earnings here, but the follow through on earnings were pretty weak, right? And so we're gonna have to wait about another 3 or 4 weeks until we get that earnings call. But at that point, this name will already be mooned. So there it goes, NVIDIA up 3.5%, continue to go. The only other trade that I had on all day, actually, I got stopped out of that TSLL. Thanks for telling me to trade TSLL, my guy, over there.
Yeah, but the long, my boy.
Yeah,
it's leverage long, my boy.
I know. We went short on it, and it went ripped up. I'll show you that in a minute. And here's the TQs, man. Short. This was just, honestly, this has made my day so far, as we make 5 times on TQs as we do on this NVIDIA trade. And then we just shorted it again, until it broke that magical 62.50. Look, 62.50 was our target from the whole morning. So, this is how I like to trade, man, and I hope you guys do as well. Yeah. Using support, resistance, having your ins, having your outs. And look, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, but right now we'll join you guys while we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. So it's been pretty good. So there goes the range, yearly range, daily range, everything range there on our good friend NVDA. And then just back over to what that example was on Intel. There's that 87, right? And I know we were talking about volume. I didn't have volume up there just because it was in the very early mornings. We didn't have a crazy volume break or anything like that on Intel. It was more price action, and we've already come up to 87, and sort of we talked about that on a 5-minute chart. It was right over here earlier on there in the morning. We came up to 87. We got up to 87 a couple days. Yeah, no, it was right there, actually. It was 2 days ago morning. Then we faded off. Then this morning as well, faded into oblivion there for INTC. So they're hitting that back down. And I remember we actually had on our sticky note written down Intel at one point breaking through 8.7. So yeah, we've got the news popping through here. I mean, a quick little check on USO. We'll let Joe get all locked and loaded, and then we'll continue our fun time conversations. But there's USO up 2 and a bit percentage points here. And that was really the reason for my short bias in the market today, was sort of failed Iran talks. And I mean, I don't know if they're failed or not to say that as a true fact, but it's just we didn't get the sort of rundown there from President Trump that we thought of. Caroline Leavitt, I mean, a whole bunch of people speaking today. We didn't get really anything about a truce or anything like that. So oil continues to make a little march higher, as does the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is going to close out the month like just so hot fire, man. Like I don't even, I'm going to have to do some math here and use our little...
on the month, we can figure that out for you real quick, my brother.
Yeah, I know. I can figure it out too, man. I got this little thing over here. Okay. You'll probably beat me to it because I know you're so competitive. If we go here, April, March 3rd. Joe wants to bet on everything. By the way, don't look at SanDisk. It's already
okay. I already got it. 18.02%.
Let's see what this one says.
Let's see what you got there.
I got 14%, but I trust on yours. I just use this little downtick right there to the upside. But wow, can you believe that? This is the major NASDAQ, man. This is the NASDAQ 100, up 13.5, possibly more, according to IBKR there on the NASDAQ. So, I mean, what a month. And you're not going to see months like that too often, right? And so we're going to be celebrating those kind of plays here today, as well as the NASDAQ really giving us, I saw some sort of a meme today. Yeah. Actually, maybe I can find it.
Find it for us.
It was on, well, I don't know if I can find it or not. It was on Twitter. And it was just a guy using, basically had this big ass cigar in his mouth. Yeah. And he was using a blowtorch to light it. And it was like my portfolio this month or something. It was just like on fire. Like it was just like, you guys has the biggest cigar, the biggest blowtorch.
It's funny. Like, it's funny because when the times are bad, I know. We don't really hear too much about, oh yeah, but then as soon as people's portfolios start to light up a little bit, it's just...
It's always back and forth, right?
I mean, some of it is... man.
Oh, here, I also found something, here's something here. This is actually, everyone's been wondering where Obi's been at.
Where's he been?
So I actually found Obi right here at Binance. Remember Obi was talking about how he didn't have enough screen space? Yeah. Okay, sure, this guy's a white guy. I get it, all right. This is potentially not Obi, but Obi always complaining about not enough screen space. Yeah. Found him. But hey, look, this is like our little board here. We have like a board.
That is a board, so you could just have...
What the hell? Obi's running his own show now?
Yeah. Hey,
all right, Obi on Binance.
Look, he's got the Stream Deck right there.
Yeah, Obi's got the Stream Deck over here. He's got everything ready to go. Man, he's ready to hit some bank. A little gangster mouse here. I can switch with mine. Obi wearing... Are these...
Think he's sitting a little close to that screen? Or is it just me? Like, how do you see the whole thing?
I mean... Next time we have Obi on, we'll ask him about that setup because I'm.
Hey, did you notice did you see Fabian got the the time coordinate with the back? Like
I saw that. Yes, I saw that on Friday, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And I didn't know. So it does change, with Fabian with the time of day. Yeah, that's pretty rad, right? So that's awesome, and that's a real time there of. It's not real time though, but it is Toronto. So,
it's relative. It's close.
You can see it's close. It's close enough. As we all wait for May 15th.
I actually wanted to talk about a little bit here because considering we're talking about what we're up on the month.
Some more NVIDIA.
With the NASDAQ 18%, we have the IWM sitting in third place, up 13.8%, and SPY sitting in that third spot, up 12.75 roughly. But essentially, what I'm about to get at here, Katina, man, is we've seen the banks lagging. What happens when the banks decide to go on a little bit of a rally, which I'm sure they will at some point? Watch out for the SPY to really, really start to gain a little bit of ground here. And I like my JPM picks. So at the end of the day, it's a dip buy scenario in some of these banks. We had them all report right at the beginning. They're the first to report. And not horrible numbers across the board, right? So I think it's only a matter of time until we start to see the banking sector and XLF really start to climb the ranks here. We can take a look at the top performing sectors here on the day as well and see what we got going on. Comms leading the way. Google obviously at the top of that. Financials sitting up 0.6. What's our boy JPM been up to on the day as it's hovering around that 310 high? Dip by all day. Take a look at it from a daily as well to see what we have going on with JPM. I mean, we're still down about 7% off of the highs here, Sean. So I'm going to be looking for the banks, 8.6% to be exact. I'm going to be looking for the banks to go on a little bit of a run and establish some new highs because we've seen the tech names do it. And I think this is going to be that next sector that is going to go on a big time run. And JPM, hopefully going to lead the way on that one. Now, I mean, as for everything else, energy sector holding on to green. We can head to the lower end consumer staples, relatively weak. I was looking at Walmart not too long ago, not performing too well. We were talking about Target, Procter & Gamble, and then obviously you have Costco as well. Consumer discretionary to the downside. Probably being, I mean, big time recovery here from Tesla. What has Amazon been up to? Let's pull that one up on today's session, AMZN, and see how it's been performing. Okay, so on Friday, it put in a new all-time high. Man, oh man, like what a big time reversal. And I think the next question is, did we move too far, too fast? And are we going to see somewhat of an aggressive pullback? Did we price in this conflict in the Middle East coming too quick of an end? I don't know. I think there's going to be a good buying opportunity, but not too long ago, less than a month, we were talking about Amazon being down 22%, and in the span of a couple of days, it's put in a new all-time high. So really nice move there in these magnificent 7 companies.
And we always talk about how sports is such a game of inches, right?
Yeah.
And like right here,
what was
did you
up
see
with
that goal?
Yeah, well, I didn't see it, but I heard it was controversial.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard, but there's the puck right there, and you can see it basically. So this is yesterday's goal there by the Edmonton Oilers. By Anaheim versus Edmonton in the overtime. And it's like, if you just pause it right here, the goal basically, you can't see the overhead view because Yari's skate is involved there and covering it up. But apparently, all this is doing is breaking it down by milliseconds. And apparently, it does cross the goal line there by 3 pixels or whatever it is. And there it was. So that's unfortunately for Edmonton Oilers fans. There, see, it's going. It's just like, you can't see it, but they did the math there. And it's like, if that's the line, you're going to get one more little, I don't know why it's still loading like this, but as it continues here, move forward. I don't know where it is, but anyways, long story short, apparently it breaks it, this is maybe a bad example, but breaks it by 1 little millimeter there. So shout out to the Edmonton Oilers as they continue to struggle against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks there. And just sports is just a matter of centimeters, and sometimes you have to break it down to pixels.
You do.
There on the replays. And that's kind of the cool thing about instant replay, right? I mean, I don't love it all the time, but it's better to have the call right than wrong. It sucks when it hurts you as your team, but
I mean, now the Oilers are down 3-1.
I know.
In the series, right?
Do you have a pick for the Stanley Cup?
No. Who do I think is going to win? Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado looks super strong.
They look really good, yeah.
I kind of want, the curse of Mitch Marner is hitting Vegas. Vegas might lose right now to Mammoth.
They tied it, didn't they? They tied it.
I think it's 2-2. But it's shout out to the Utah Mammoth. Brand new franchise in the NHL as well. So.
And how much of a slap in the face is it that the Sabres haven't been in the playoffs for 14 years? They come in, they win their first playoff round. How many years did it take for the Leafs?
9. I think we won. We finally won 2 years ago. We won.
You know what I mean? It's just like, oh man.
But the Leafs. Look, there's a lot of obviously hatred for the Leafs as far as their playoff record is concerned. But they did make the playoffs something like 11 straight years.
Yeah, they had 9 straight years.
That's pretty.
Yeah, but they only had 2 series wins.
It's bad. It's bad. Where's Max at? I think Max is long NVIDIA.
Okay, I would be long NVIDIA as well.
Yeah, I mean, right there. Now we're $2 in the money right now as it started to get upside.
This thing's going
wow. NVIDIA is just motoring, and I should have picked NVIDIA when you and I were talking about what to do for next week. For this week, I'm picking big cap names, but there it goes. This is the name that you and I talked about earlier on today, and it was just breaking out through its range. There goes NVIDIA to the high side. I mean, let me see when they're reporting. We do know that NVIDIA, obviously with these CapEx names coming through, do you really think Google's going to stop spending? You think Meta's going to stop spending? You think Amazon's going to stop spending? Well, I mean, when they don't and they announce that they have more CapEx to go, that means that they're just lining up to buy some of these chips from NVIDIA, right? We've already seen Intel get to the high side there. We saw AMD going. We see Broadcom and whatnot. What am I looking for again here? Oh, yeah, the calendar.
Yeah.
So here's NVIDIA's calendar. It is unconfirmed, but we have it at May the 27th.
Yeah.
So we still have, actually,
a month today.
how convenient. 1 month today, and you'll get the biggest and the baddest of them all, the #1 market cap name in the universe, NVIDIA, taking names today and honestly just taking it all out. And holy shnikes.
Oh.
I wish I didn't see what that low of the day was.
Yeah.
I know Sharif showing the AI-generated sticky note there when he talked about that a little bit. No, sorry, the morning note.
Yeah, the morning.
That he has. We had NVIDIA go long at 208 today. All right, so let's go back over and have a look at what the low.
So that's where you need to make, that's where you got to plug your.
207.50, but it was at 10:30, so we were sitting here. We could have taken that.
Okay.
So that's just me missing that trade there. But I wonder if we would have gone long 208, what we would have done about that. Would have we held it 40 or 50 cents? I think maybe we lose initially and then take it on the break back up. All right, I'm going to take another piece out here. Why not? I will take it out at 05. Just put the offer out and get filled, basically, there for that. But there it is, man. The NVIDIA long pay dirt on me. And then right there, yeah, so this is, we dance with the devil a little bit here. And you're right, the TSLA long was it. And I was just seeing this little play right here at 12 bucks. So I thought we came back up. We went all the way down into 1140. We could talk about Tesla proper in a minute if you want. Tesla proper is at, anyways, the lines are going to line up the same. Let me just go over to the price exactly of Tesla because we're bouncing off 380, a little bit more key than just a simple TSLL level. But the reason why I did go short was this 200 period moving average actually sat right at the low of the day. So, the range low. So I thought maybe if we came back up to here, there would be a chance that we'd be able to sell this down. And sure, we got a couple outs on the TSLL, but yeah, not enough to make any money on it. So there, wow, NVIDIA, man, there it goes right there to the upside now, TSLA along with TSLL. So I traded that, and then the TQs we got out of the way on the short. It's actually kind of funny, like the market's, it seems like it's ripping with NVIDIA going. The problem is that Apple's holding us down a little bit here today. We talked about the negativity around the OpenAI phone potentially being launched in the next year or so. That name, hitting Apple a bit, and that's why the market maybe, to the downside. NASDAQ actually flat right now. So there's the NASDAQ trying to do its own thing here. I would rather go long than short now, though. You're above VWAP. You're above the 50-period moving average. The monster continues to go higher. So we'll have to look at Apple maybe as a dip buy opportunity if we get into 265. Feel like that's a little too low for that one. And then today's controversy early, which not anymore, was Altman and Microsoft there changing the royalties up with Microsoft and OpenAI, and that sent the market to the downside. But then I guess all is well in softy land as that goes positive here with big earnings. Joe picked Google and Amazon long. I picked Meta and SanDisk long. So we're going to find out what happens here today for those names. And SNDK, yeah, you don't want to call that one up right now. This is 20 bucks. We went long at 10.39 right there. Now that's things up to 10.59. Your pick's good as well, man. You had Google there at 3.50. So that's good. That's up $2. I really like Amazon, though. Regardless of what Amazon winds up doing, I think they're going to have a good quarter. You're flat on basically Amazon and up on Google as well. And Amazon pulling back in just a little bit. So, yeah, Joe and I filling in, Neil and back tomorrow. Joe filling in today, and great job on the midday show. I know you're doing a lot of work there. I know it's a little exhausting. And unfortunately, Joe, a little burnt out from too many espressos.
Yeah,
I thought you only had one.
Well, no, I had two of them. I had one double, and then the one that Randy brought.
Damn Randy.
So
Randy's always doing
it's all blamed on Randy. No, nonetheless, guys, it's been a pretty good recovery here today. I mean, we could talk hindsight all day. We did want that Tesla off of the bottom there. We've seen it, and then off to the races it goes. We tried it on a couple attempts here with AMD, slow grind as it's continuing to recover from this morning's selling, and then you have that support level right around 333, a base around 331, and then now you're starting to recover a little bit here. Now you have a double bottom potentially here, triple bottom on IBIT, so you have a nice base that you can work off here. And we've had multiple attempts on Bitcoin continuing to climb. They worked out, one didn't, or two of them didn't, so shooting 50% clip rate, so you're positive here on the name, but the strong breakout over here, boom, 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 right out of the gates, as it was going oppo the overall market, just because, yeah, exactly, they're bidding. Joe is a real cheaper. Thank you. Appreciate that, you guys. But yeah, AMD definitely starting to recover. I would like to see it in Amazon, but not necessarily the case that we're getting. But at the two trades of the day, if you ask me, Sean, it's going to be Tesla with a monstrous recovery off of the lows, 364 low, now trading up to 380. Come on, man. That volatility is starting to step back in. And then we also have NVDA putting in multiple new all-time highs of 216. I've been saying this for quite some time. And AMD hasn't been participating in the past couple of days of rallying. And then we've seen that rotation into NVDA. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a nice exponential growth here within this name. I wouldn't be like 250, I think, is a reasonable target in the coming months by the end of the summer. And we know that volume is light in the summer. And when it's light like that, it's a good time for rallies. So I like what we have going on here. I'm going to be grabbing some more. I didn't get to this morning, even though it would have been a nice dip buy at 212. Wasn't necessarily the case, or even lower. You got lower here today. Man, crazy. 207 for the dip buy on today's session. Didn't pull the trigger on that one, but we're still locked and loaded in the long term and have a good amount of exposure to NVDA. Anything in particular that you're looking to dip by, Sean? I mean, Neil and I had this conversation not too long ago between, I think it was Microsoft, Netflix, and then another name we threw in that pool is like, out of those names, what would you like to buy around this neck of the woods? Microsoft, not really as strong as I would like. But I think Netflix, I know where you stand essentially on Netflix, but that's where the name I'm leaning towards more is Netflix.
I'm leaning towards, I like to buy some more indexes. I think I want to get into that, but that's kind of an easy call. For me, something that I thought, has a chance, I like the business model here. What's up, Luis? I missed you guys last week as well, but glad to have such a great team filling in for all of us here. So very blessed to have that. There was a time where we were struggling to get people on board, and now we found our way. I like Uber. Okay. Honestly, I think that you're bouncing now off the 50-period moving average. It's still going to climb up into $86 there. I like it. I know Sharif showed a video there of Waymo. I think there is competition in there, and I think that's why we are down. But Uber being down about 30% from its highs, I think there's some value to catch up on this. A couple upgrades gets this thing back into the mid-80s, and then we can see if we can get going from there. I do like the business. We did have Joby a little talk today about how Joby was starting to get some of their flights going actually into Manhattan, I believe it was, flying over the Hudson. So Joby, I believe, had a decent story today. So we'll see if that ever gets going. For me personally, I'm not going to be getting into any of those little helicopters or anything like that anytime soon, but I do think that that's an interesting call there. I recently bought more SoFi. We talked about that at $18, so I think that's still around there. I do like what you're talking about there with the financials potentially starting to pick up. And then, and as Joe and I talk about some of these plays, we're talking about our own, portfolios here and things that we're looking at. And of course, for all of you guys, assess your own risk tolerance and what stage of life you're in as well. So there it is, man. Hood, another great call there. We have Matt talking about that, thinking Hood goes. I'm interested to see why 96. Is that just a simple mathematical number? Here, it looks like that'd be up about 20% if you're going to call 96 from here. So, and if we go higher, maybe you're just looking at this little gap level there. So yeah, that would be 96. I think most traders. So this is the thing about it, Joe. Well, I know you're talking about being long a little bit above this, but let's just say you bought in around 70 or 75. I think this is the problem with many traders is even if you get that huge move, like 96, we've already been to, we got to 93 a couple of days ago, $94, right? So we were really rocking and rolling, but are you taking profits?
That's like 20% just like that.
Yeah, so it's like, it's easy to fall back in, easy to ride the names up, but where exactly are you taking profit? We saw there's something similar to that in Marvell, taking a little bit of profits in that 130 marker. It rips to 170 or something a couple of days ago. So there goes, 170 and change. So you always feel bad when you do wind up taking profits. The one name that I think a profit take is maybe doing, if we can get a bump on Palantir earnings. I am a little worried. We got the stories last week about Anthropic. President Trump sort of feeling a little bit better about Anthropic now, and maybe getting them involved in some of these White House duties and whatnot as far as potentially Department of War. And I know that that's been a real strong point there for Palantir. So I'm a little worried about Palantir and competition coming up. So I think if we can get a bump to 160, 165, we may close our Palantir position at some point. So I think the easy money, and good call there, JL 822. I think the easy money on Palantir is over. You know, we're going to wait to see if we can get one more big report from them and then close out our position on PLTR.
I mean, you've been in it for quite some time, have you not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm long sub $10.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
we're good on Palantir, but it's only good until when you get out.
Yeah, it is true,
so
right?
Yeah. Got to be careful about that.
It's very true, though. As you were just mentioning, it's like, okay, yeah, you can all have these great entries. You have this great entry, but where are you taking profit?
I think that's why options are good, because it kind of forces you sometimes
to get out. Yeah,
because you know that you might expire well out of the money. So if you don't take advantage of that 200% move or something like that,
exactly.
But then greed is the problem with options.
And I think it's just a big lesson to be learned. Like essentially, like even for me, when you have Robinhood in the span, you get in the trade, and the next thing you know, you blink. A couple of months later, you're up 220%.
Yeah.
You've been in Palantir since $10. Oh, okay. Next thing you know, you're climbing. You're up substantially. It's like these 1,000% returns, and then it's like, oh, okay. You start to come back in. You cut that in half. It's like, okay, maybe next time we won't be so greedy. I sold some Robinhood at 22. It decides to climb up to 50s, but then I bought some back at 119, 118-ish roughly. So I mean, you have to be thankful, and if you have the ability and like if you're in the right position to extract profits from the market, especially after these monstrous runs like AMD, like right now you're like, oh yes, bag holding on, or I shouldn't even say bag holding, but holding on to this massive position where you get a 75% return in the span of a month in advanced micro devices, advanced money duplicator at this point, right? It's like, okay, take some profits because the chances of you getting a better price or it coming back in are relatively high. I think that's one thing is that people always fear out like, hey, we're going to miss out on this rally, but we've seen it time and time again. Even the best names come back 10, 15, and even 20% at times, and that's going to give you the opportunity to buy back in at even better prices. Yeah, Trippy, we're here once again. We're putting in that work. Neil, with the day off. I think that's a massive lesson that I've learned, right? Just throughout me trading.
Neil takes a lot of days off, or?
Pardon me?
You learned a lesson that Neil takes a lot of days off?
No. That like when you have these big runs, like 60, 70%, don't be afraid to take some off. You can leave some exposure, and I get it. You're looking for that massive run. That's what the majority of people are looking for. Like I have a friend, Sean, he's been in this company for a very, very long time. He's up almost $500,000, right? He's been in this company for about 5-6 years now.
You're right.
He's up $500,000, and he's like, no, I'm holding it until I get $1 million. And a bunch of us are like, dude, just take a little bit off. There will always be another opportunity.
I don't like that talk.
To buy back in. So that's a lesson that I have learned for sure. Especially, and I told people, sorry to interrupt you, but I gave the perfect example. It's like I'm sitting in a trade, IBIT, for multiple years, and you see a substantial return, and then it's like, oh, okay, the thing pulls back 50%, and I sold a little bit, but not enough, and you just see all those unrealized gains kind of go away, where if you were to lock 30 or 40% of that in, you could just buy that back at a lower price.
People think
much easier said than done.
The ladies behind are so nicely branded because they're wearing red. I guarantee you that was not done on purpose today, but we do like that. That was the difference with you today, is the no glasses.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Is that why? Oh.
I feel like that.
So you got lost in the eyes.
I got lost in the eyes, man. What a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
For Joey Options over here. We do have a new position, though. Which one? All right. We're in TSLA.
Yeah, let's go, man.
I don't know, man. Why am I going to really switch over to this? Maybe I am. All right, let's see what winds up happening. NVIDIA, by the way, is a pump factory right now. We got some more out right there at 260. We should have reloaded it, but there it goes, man. Absolutely monstrous now as we make out new all-time highs here for NVDA, as it's now up 4% and going. Gone. I'm gonna bid a little bit out here at 20 just because 5 cents. I don't know if I'm thinking that this break, there it is. This break down a little bit here on TSLL will create us hopefully a little bit of a panic move. I wouldn't mind getting a 24. Our stop is right up here 45. So if we do break the day's high, we're gonna get out of this name. So about 10 cents is kind of what we're looking for here on TSLL as it starts to fade just a little bit, so not a bad call there for us on TSLL. Okay, here it comes back in, so we will take advantage of this. Hey, man, maybe we will start to like this a little bit more, Joe, and we'll start to trade out of some TSLL at some point. But right now we're bidding some 27s. I don't have another bid out there. Maybe we get that, maybe we do not. And NVIDIA with a little bit of a pullback. We're getting lighter and lighter on this. Look, we haven't broke the 50 period since we started this whole thing. It really started to get going pretty much all day. I mean, it was choppy until 10:30, makes that bottom, not really a volume profile out there. This is not volume profile, but I just mean it didn't hit any volume profile spikes there. And then there it goes right to the upside. And since then, man, we really have not broke this 50-period moving average all the way up. So let's use this as our out, 215.60 right now. Again, the stop was an embarrassingly low break of, I mean, look where we're long at, 214.15. It did take a minute. Our first bids were at 30s. So we did have some bids at 30s. It did drop in. We were using sort of this 200 period, sorry, the 25 period as our out. Now, as we graduate up, we can go 215. We don't have to be too exact, but okay, that's 50. So let's just go 48. I don't know. Right there, offer. Enter, accepted, good. Okay, we have to be careful when we set our orders here because if you have too many stop orders, one will cancel the other one out and it'll reject the most recent one that you put in. So you gotta be careful of that. So we'll wait to see if that can mature up a little bit. Tesla gives us that 27, so that was nice there as we get a little bit more out. So we're just holding these two positions right now. I'm just gonna refresh to see if we get any actionable trades going on. I know Sia is probably gonna come with a market recap at some point, so I'm not trying to steal the thunder. I actually don't know the timing of that. But right into here, we'll have a quick little look. Just putting some offers, make sure we don't get filled on those. Google, NVIDIA, it's Google really with a high take today as well. Taking out their all-time highs, breaking through 350, very, very impressive. Any sort of a pullback, I'm actually gonna put a little bit more cash into the account, waiting for an opportunity to see if there's a misstep by any of the mega cap names that hit. So just giving you advice, that's now Wednesday. So if your cash needs to settle, get it into your account soon if you're looking to take advantage of some of those plays. Amazon, Google, Meta, Apple, all coming on Wednesday. And I'm missing one there. Google, Amazon, Meta, Apple. No, that's right. And then we only have Qualcomm.
Wait, sorry, Google, Amazon, Meta,
Not Apple.
Not Apple, Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Apple's on Thursday.
Right, I knew, when I was saying Apple, I was like, no, it can't be right, but Apple on Thursday, but it's Qualcomm was another big one there on Wednesday, so we'll have all that for you guys as well. Looking to take advantage of that. Interesting to see your not your Walmart, but a pick that I think everyone likes in the retail space, Walmart getting hit downside a little bit today as well, down 1.75%. And then on Wednesday, I think I closed it, but let's call it right back up right here. I could refresh this. What do you think the chances are if I refresh this is not 100%? Yeah, it's 100%. So there it is right now, 100% change in rates, not expected. So we are not expecting any percentage at all. We'll hear about what the talk is for the rate tool on Wednesday, and I'm not expecting much to hit there. So we'll figure that out with the current move in the Fed watch. And we can also take a quick little look here. Let's just see what the dollar's doing today. We haven't really looked there. Whoa, get down chart. Here's Bitcoin right now. So let's go look at the DXY. As we've seen, the dollar's been decent. We obviously got a good reaction over the last little while as the NASDAQ's been going to the upsides. Let's go on a daily chart there for the US dollar and just try to zoom in just a little bit. As the NASDAQ's been really super hot, you do see the dollar coming back in a little bit. Weak dollar, generally pretty good for these mega cap names.
I'm just waiting. I mean, you can continue otherwise, or
I always feel like I'm being set up for something.
No, well, not really, but we can send it to C and see what.
Are we hearing for C in the background? I have my thing listed up on here. I'll have to log back in again. I looked over and Joe was like smiling and looking at me, so I was like, "Well, you kind of look like a bobblehead there." Going back and forth. Well, not as bad.
I was just nodding. I'm like, yeah,
You're just nodding. So okay. All right.
See ya.
We'll talk about the dollar when we get back. Let's go over to Sia.
Thank you so much, Joey and Sean. We're going to take a look, both the S&P and the NASDAQ currently trading flat. But let's look at one of the news that I have for you today, Spotify. So Spotify has teamed up with Peloton to launch a worldwide fitness content hub. And Spotify wants to increase its push beyond just music. And with that, the company is partnering with Peloton Interactive. The deal will make more than 1,400 Peloton classes available to Spotify premium subscribers across the global markets, which will embed fitness content directly into Spotify's existing audio and video ecosystem. So if you don't know what Peloton is, it is an at-home fitness app that basically is also an on-demand studio-style classes via internet-connected stationary bikes and treadmills. But neither companies have disclosed the financials for this matter. But the partnership is an indication that both the companies are considering strategic priorities stories. Now, Spotify has said more than 150 million fitness playlists are already active globally, with nearly 70% of premium users that are reporting they work out monthly. So currently, Spotify down 4%.
I mean, Spotify, we talk about PTON quite often. I mean, at the end of the day, this stock is way past its prime, and I don't think it ever continues. I mean, they had the stores, they're closing down left, right, and center. If there's ever even any left, I mean, we had $10.53, now you're down to $5, 50% haircut. Need I go back anymore? Because it gets uglier as we just continuously scroll back. The peak of this thing was unfortunately in COVID times, right? $170, and then off to the races it goes, and then just never, ever, ever looks back. And there's nothing that's going to recover this. They can partner with Apple at the end of the day and turn into an AI like we had with that other shoe company that turned into it's turning into a data.
Oh, birds.
Bird, yeah.
From Allbird to Newbird AI. What's so weird about that, guys?
Well, I mean, Peloton, we're looking for something along those lines. But nonetheless, guys, $5.36, teaming up with Spotify. And we can pull up Spotify here. I mean, I don't know. You're an Apple Music guy, right, Sean? All right. Yeah, same here. I know it. Whoa, okay, all right, down. I mean, a lot of people love Spotify, right? You can take
Spotify is great, but what's the difference between Spotify and Apple? I don't know.
I think the mixes are a little bit better on Spotify.
Oh, the curated
exactly.
playlist?
I do believe that. I don't have it, but we use it on the television at home when we're jamming and cleaning. 36% off of the highs, though, here. 36.7% with a high of around $783. Now you're looking at $504. So, I mean, heavy competition. It's taken a lot of market share from Apple Music. Don't get it. I don't think we can forget about that. But at the end of the day, this stock has not been performing, especially when you're a one-trick pony. And they're paying Joe Rogan, which I never really understood, is that you're paying Joe Rogan all this money to upload your his podcast, but then you can just head over to YouTube and essentially listen to it for free. So, yeah, I always found that interesting.
Yeah, they got to figure out the licensing and everything, obviously. Over there as well. Someone in the chat says, Sean is short Tesla. Yeah, that's what this is right now. This is just a levered long. And I had just, we talked about this last week, and it was just kind of like, a little bit less value. Some traders were asking, like, why don't we just trade TSLL instead of TSLA? I mean, I feel, you can obviously, if you're just looking at straight stock, I mean, they're going to trade the same. And, one's going to be I think it's triple, right? Is it triple or double? I don't even. TSLL, double only. So, yeah, 2 times. So, again, 0.4 versus 0.8. So there is a little bit more aggressiveness on these kind of plays here when you're looking at it. But at the end of the day, relatively the same. I mean, the marks will line up equally as well. So whether or not you're trading, like, there's the cross of the 50 and the 25, right? If we go over to TSLL again, same cross happening there. So maybe we'll try to bid out a little bit more at this area, and we'll see if we get some 27s, and then we'll wait to see about a 25 fill, which is actually what I was waiting for. Silver's on a little bit of a run here as well, as SLV started to make a march higher, I just noticed. So as we talk about the US dollar a little, well, actually I got to go back to the US dollar. There it goes, silver making a march higher. Nice little take on the 5-minute chart, heading up into your 200 period moving average. Generally, I like to fade when those kind of things come into place, especially when you have silver here. Kind of maxing out with that bottom take there about 11 o'clock on Thursday. That was 68.50, so that could have been a bottom. That's what we're running into right now. Silver looking to me like it's setting up for a bit of a short, but again, up to you guys if you want to take that. We're still, by the way,
Why is my question mark doing this?
We got filled on. What are you trying to do?
Well, I was asking. Yeah.
Oh, you're on a French keyboard there.
I'm on a French keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we're sending it off to Sia once again. Or not
it's
again?
working in my ear now.
Okay,
so
I'm not trying to.
Don't try to play me like that again.
I'm not trying to play you like that. Okay.
There, but see, 250. Okay. So that's the problem. Like I would have already been $2.50 short on Tesla if I had this, as opposed to where I do have it. So yeah, that, or maybe someone just said that in the chat, but maybe about $2 difference there. So yeah, it just takes a little bit getting used to share sizing and whatnot on what the actual trade winds up looking like. From the winning side of things there as well. Okay, here we go from Mark. What's up, Mark C?
What's he saying?
What are your strategies and stocks for your retirement accounts? My strategy is very, very simple. What kind of mix do you have between individual stocks and ETFs and indexes? So
Yeah, that's a great question.
that is a fantastic question. My strategy is from now on, basically, buying and holding everything forever and ever. Now I take that back because that's just quick talk. I do think that when you're getting a move up, like we talked about Marvell, did trim some. Intel trimming a little bit of that as well. When you get overextension, I think AMD worth trimming as well. But I always want to hold at least like, I was going to say 50%. I actually haven't even dug this deep into it. I've been investing my own money since 17 or so.
Yeah.
So like I remember having Apple at $30, Microsoft, like all these names, right? NVDA, the first time it broke 100,
Your
right?
pops got you, your old man got you into it?
Yeah, well, he and I were actually watching Mad Money a lot.
When you were
Yeah, so he would come home from work and we would just be hanging out.
But my question to you is because the average 17-year-old.
No, my dad is not big in them.
Unless they were exposed to it. So what got you
I wasn't
at
the
that
average
age?
17-year-old.
All right.
But
no,
because I was looking at that stuff.
But there you go. You were in. Okay, so but what made you start looking?
I mean, I read The Wealthy Barber. Nothing. So my dad, first of all, Italian.
Yeah.
He worked since he was 6 years old.
Yeah,
he'd been working on bread trucks and because he came as an immigrant into Canada with his father. My father was born in Italy, came over here at 2 years old, and then my family had no money whatsoever. So he actually had to work for these other Italian guys. And my nonna, of course, had to have him work. 6 years old, you should be working, right?
Yeah.
Sent him on the bread truck, so he was delivering bread back and forth. Anyway, so long story short, he opened up his own HVAC company and whatever. So there's pictures. I should maybe find them. I'll bring them in when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, fully decked out
in the HVAC,
in like the HVAC stuff, right? And was going on calls with his guys.
Okay.
So going out there and installing furnaces or
So
what I thought was I was probably just holding the wrench, but doing that kind of stuff. So and then I would get paid a little bit, $20 here, $30, $50 there. So I was just kind of investing it.
Yeah,
and so I opened up. I mean, I could probably show you.
So you can't say that there's one specific thing that's like, hey, what led you to the stock market? You were just watching it, like.
No, I think it was just a wealth creation. Yeah, but I mean, it was. Look, we hate on the fact that maybe it's not taught in school enough.
Yeah.
But it was taught enough that you would know about the stock market. And did you know the ins and outs of it? I'm talking 30 years ago, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
date myself over here. But definitely not as much information as there is now. So I just started buying the companies that I knew about. Like I talked about buying the bank that I banked at.
Yeah.
Buying Enbridge because the gas bill, I kept seeing that coming in all the time, and just making simple things like that. And I remember my father was getting in and out of, I told this story a couple times on the show with Neil, but my father was getting in and out of Costco back and forth, and so he was trading a little bit, and then when I went to university and graduated university, took financial there. So even
so you knew about it.
Even when I graduated in 2002. So even if I said I was investing my own money for 23 years, it would have been since graduation anyways, right? And so, just getting involved with it and really just seeing now the power of compounding. I think that's, so to answer that super chat, long story short, I'm going to try to always stay long at least like half of the position. So if I put in 10 grand into something, I definitely like to keep like that core position of 5 grand maybe, or half the shares that you invest in. It doesn't have to be the price. And then get out when some stuff dips or goes up, and then try to buy a little bit back when it dips. Because no matter what you think, Amazon, if you look at the last earnings, that was at 240. It dropped down into 200. So if you took some out at the highs of 240, you were able to buy some back in, which we had done. So we talked a little bit about that. I bought some more Palantir.
Cheaper.
My average price in Palantir is not still sub. Because I did buy some at 130 maybe 6 or 8 months ago when it dropped into that level again.
I think that's where it comes into the point where you mentioned like, hey, where you are in life, like how old you are, and then the power of compounding. 10 years is such a major difference from like, say, 17 to 27, opposed to being in the market and exposed for that 10 years, opposed to 27 to 37, right? So the power of compounding is extremely important. I didn't learn about it until I was in my early 20s, and I was just living in Liberty Village again at the time, literally in the exact same spot. spot that I was over a decade ago. And my friend's like, yeah, Joe, man, you've been sitting on a little bit too much cash. You got to invest it. And then that's when I told you guys the story before. I literally Googled best marijuana companies in Canada, and then that's all I really needed, because it was at the time when they were talking about legalization, right?
I know. I lost. I lost so much money.
Yeah,
in
same,
weed
man.
stocks, man.
We're down
Honestly,
99.9%. I made a lot, but I lost.
Down 99.8% is my best one.
Oh, okay.
You know, that because that's still holding on. It's a little bit of Tilray action.
Yeah, there you go.
We have other ones that were best marijuana companies.
Yeah.
Now don't exist.
But I caught lightning in a bottle with that
Okay.
one, to be honest.
Let me ask you a quick question here. Okay. Just to know the compounding thing.
Yeah.
If you were to invest, give me a guess.
Okay.
If I was to put 200 grand right now in the stock market, and what number did I put on here? I put 9%.
At 9%.
So compounding 9% over the next 7 years.
Okay. So around
200 ground, 9%, and the stock market's given you about 12.5%, 13% over the last 70 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going low end, 9%. Nasdaq's up 14% this month.
Yeah.
So 9% a year for the next 7 years. What do you think you got? You don't even have to look at it. You just put in 200 grand, never put in any more.
Like 1.4 or something like that.
$200,000, 7 years.
Yeah.
At a 9%.
Oh, 7 years? Oh, okay. You're asking me quick math. It's like 700, 800.
Yeah. It's $365,000.
Oh, really?
But anyways, you're almost doubling your money.
There you go.
And you've done nothing but put it in there.
For 7 years.
For 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, obviously the market has matured as well. But anyways, I just want to show you the power of compounding there. And especially in Canada where we have tax-free savings.
That's why starting early is really important.
Yeah, I mean, these two ladies in the back. I mean, you know, anything, you got to put as much money in your account as you possibly can while you're still young, not old man Sean. What's up, Sia?
I actually have breaking news here. You can see it on the screen. FLS FlowServe pushing higher. Reports suggesting that Starboard, which of course is an activist investor, is going to be pushing to build a change in FlowServe. So again, building stake in FlowServe, pushing for changes here. FLS on watch, Starboard. So again, activist investor reportedly trying to get involved here in FlowServe. If I get more info, I will let you know. Back to you.
Yeah, so that's just simple math there. And people are also saying, what about dividends? And yeah, if you add some dividends into that, I think the actual number that when we talked about 12 or 13% does include dividends as well. So I don't know. I'll have to double check all of that. But those are the numbers, and that is the magic of compounding. And so that's why, you know, if you're sitting on $500,000 right now and you have it in there for a little bit of time, you know, next thing you know, in that 7 years, at 9%, that 500,000 would turn into 900,000.
Yeah.
And all you've done is sat on your hands. You don't have to worry about all this crazy stuff. Oh, but that's the thing with the PDT rule now changing. You know, that's going to be good for day traders as well, and giving you a little bit more opportunities to get in and out of stock as we go. What do we think about that XE stock? I mean, you want to talk about, let's look at some names here.
Energy name.
Possibly trade. So this is an SMR. These guys came out on Friday. Not that great. On Friday, we did have a downside play all day. Neil and I both were able to make a little bit of money, and then it dropped out through, and we got out once it broke through, and we got about a 50 cents worth of stop risk there as it flattened us out. Made that low at 27, now up to $34. Looking to take out its day high right now on XE. So we got to get up to 34.60. I believe that's a good break. If we can break 34.60, a possible good long there on, is that the high of the day? We can get it exactly here. 34.57, high of the day break there on XE. We'll see if some momentum comes back into that name. SMR, Sam Michael Roberts here, off of a nice bottom. I think it was about $10, up about 30% in a couple weeks there. Yeah, well, actually, 940, 950 upside, downside, upside up to $14 there. So, you know, you talk about some low float names that do have the goods into it. SMR might just be one of those names as well, trying to battle through that 50-period moving average and give us a little bit of a hold right there coming back in. So good little take there on SMR, up 6% today. That could be worth something. We did get out, for those of you wondering, what happened to this Joker's NVIDIA trade? Well, there it goes. We talked about getting out on the 50-period moving average. So that was a good idea there, as that came out there at 215.50. That's starting to drop down again. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, took the short. And maybe we should have, actually, as we had some protection here with our 50-period moving average and 25-period, respecting it for 3 or 4 hours until it wasn't. Dr. Disrespect. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that streamer guy.
I have no idea who it is. My kids sometimes talk about it.
Yeah,
so
he's like
that's a
6.
streamer guy.
He's like 6'8". He's like a big dude.
Oh, man.
He got banned though, apparently.
Oh, did he? He must have got Dr. Disrespected.
Yeah, he did.
Did you see iShow Speed at Mania? I didn't see it yet, but I saw something. Apparently, the guy jumped off. That iShow Speed guy. Talk about a
He's an
streamer.
athlete.
Athlete. Wow, that guy was very impressive. Him and Logan Paul just really doing well in the WWE
Yeah, I don't
right
really
now.
like Logan too much.
The Paul
That's
brothers.
okay.
No, you don't have to like them. I mean, these guys are
here and there.
honestly like financial geniuses.
Yeah.
What they've done there. The guy made $10 million on a Pokemon card.
Yeah, you see that? It was like he sold it at like 13 million.
He's like, yeah, no, 16 million.
Yeah, which is
He bought it for like
crazy.
3 half or 5 half, something like that.
And sold it
Made
for
$11 million.
So ridiculous. It's not even funny.
Like, but again, that's using, and they're probably not the brains behind their social media, but it's using that power, right, to influence, like, you know, that Pokemon. The guy wore it down on. It's like I saw Kevin O'Leary at the Oscars or whatever. Maybe it wasn't the Oscars, something else. He had one of his sports cards on his neck.
Did he?
Next time that guy's on the show, man, I'm gonna talk to this guy.
Did you watch his performance in?
Which one? No, I didn't see Marty Supreme yet.
Marty
Did you?
Supreme, yeah, I seen it.
And?
It was phenomenal performance.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, his performance or the movie?
His performance was great.
Okay, next time he's on, I'm going to have you come on. You're going to tell me
we'll
on a
talk about
phenomenal
it.
performance.
I'll
okay?
ask him if he don't
and
slap me with the paddle.
What?
That's what he does.
Oh, does he? Okay, I don't know enough about it. You know what I saw was Michael B. Jordan, The Sinners, finally for the first time.
It was all right.
I saw that on the plane. Yeah, I thought it was really super slow.
Yeah, right.
For the first 2 hours.
I
I
don't think it deserved what it.
I don't know. It's a different movie. I thought it was well done there, and the fact that he was playing both characters, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Mad respect to Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was a pretty interesting, unique movie, but I feel like that one you kind of knew where it was going. So
yeah.
But yeah, not the greatest.
Have you watched this show called From?
No.
No?
Is it a good one? Is that
It's all right. Yeah, it's kind of like the horror movie or the horror version of Lost. Did you ever watch?
I like Lost.
Yeah.
Kind of fell asleep a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was background noise, right?
Yeah. Lost was a good one. The wife absolutely loved Lost, and we got lost in that one for a while.
How many seasons?
Okay, good. We're getting some more recommendations about From. I'm going to find out if she's. We're watching something called The Testaments right now, which is.
Okay.
I forget what that's. Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay.
Prequel, I believe, or after. I
don't
Anyways, over to which one, Andre? I keep screwing it up. All right, up to Sia over at the desk.
One is crazy. We're going to take a look at a couple individual tickers for the small cap segment today. Before that, the IWM trading flat on the day. But let's take a look into the individual tickers. FN Fabrinet is down almost 6% on the day with earnings result for their third quarter coming on the 4th of May. Then we have next our MBS. Sorry, I'm talking about BE next. Of course, I'm talking about BE next. So we have Bloom Energy. Bloom Energy is reporting earnings tomorrow post-market. Currently, the stock is up 2%. Revenue is estimated to be between $498 to $513 million, which is just a 50% year-over-year growth. Then we're talking about RMBS. Rambus Incorporated company that creates innovative hardware and services. If you don't know what that is, down almost 10% on the day because the company is reporting earnings post-market today with an estimated EPS of 64 cents on $189.7 million revenue. Analysts are projecting a 6.8% growth for the EPS and 14.3% in revenue. Sending it back to you.
Thank you. There's one thing that, Sean, I've seen someone in the chat mention, like, hey, NVDA being a little bit expensive up here. I mean, if we're looking at the trailing 12 months, PE 40.6 times, but the industry average sitting around 24.5 times. Now, I want to pull up, let's take a look at Broadcom and see what we got going on here from a PE standpoint. Trading at 22. Oh, okay, that's 81 times. So that's a little bit more expensive as Broadcom is all the way up here. And the same thing with the industry average, right? So we can take a look at AMD. How have you been performing? And I mean, over the past couple of days, 117 times. So I mean, if we're talking about expensive, it's below what we're seeing in some of the other larger names, obviously being Broadcom and AMD, the couple that we just went over. So yeah, I mean, I like it up here. I think just due to the fact that we had that lengthy consolidation, we were going to break out at some time. And sure enough, we are. Like a high of $116, I think, at our $216 on today's session. Big time move. That's 3.25%. That's a lot of capital being added. And we can talk about the market cap of the name as it's just continuing to grow. I thought that we would see not Apple, but Google really start to climb the ranks. But NVDA is worth over $1.3 trillion more than Apple right now, which is substantial. We're sitting at $5.2 trillion. So if we're talking about the first name to hit $6 trillion, I think it's either going to be NVDA and then maybe even potentially Google, to be honest with you. I could pull that up and we can see what we got going on there. But yeah, Google, absolutely monstrous and continuing to climb. This is, I think it's gonna be 1A and 1B, essentially, 1 and 1B. So I wanna pull this up and take a look at Google's market cap real quick and see what we got going on. 4.2 billion. Okay, so I mean, it is about $1 trillion below that, but I think just the pace and the trajectory that we're on, I wouldn't be surprised if it really started to gain some ground here.
We do have, I was just gonna look.
Hour.
Okay, we're in the hour of power. Adara has so many posts on Trader TV research. You got to make sure you go check it out. Check it out immediately. This is what's happening right here. So this is April the 28th. So my eldest's birthday. April the 28th, so tomorrow. We have here in the pre-market Centene, there's that Spotify, as we talked about that. With Sia earlier, GM, so there's a couple big names coming tomorrow morning. UPS, I mean, FedEx has been doing awesome, so we can check out to see what UPS winds up saying, what they're feeling like for tomorrow as well. Coca-Cola, the major product manufacturing, their consumer staple name, Coca-Cola, BP Corning, there, and then it's tomorrow after market is when you sort of get some names that I think are going to be really exciting to watch. Robinhood right over there, as well as Bloom Energy. We got Starbucks. We talked about what Verizon put up today. Verizon had a good quarter. They were up 4%. We'll double check back on that after this. But T-Mobile tomorrow should be good if Verizon follows suit there. Apparently a pretty strong consumer in the United States right now as they had net subs higher Verizon. We'll see if that hits for T-Mobile as well. I don't know. Being over here, I'm not sure the difference between Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. So, but Booking Holdings, their Visa, we'll see if Visa can get going. Really like Visa coming through there as well. And then later on in the Trump, going on again more. Where is tomorrow? Oh, Altman. Look at all this stuff over here. I was looking for let's check out this.
Yeah.
So this is the one that's coming on the 29th. So this is good enough for us to have a quick look at it. There's Amazon, there's Meta, there's Google, we got Microsoft, and then just one day later, 2 more for Tim Cook, and then we're out of there right now. Look at these revenues, though. Like Amazon's revenue, 177. Obviously, they get a lot of bump there from the retail side of things as well. But just Apple, $109 billion. That's on the quarter.
On the quarter, bro.
On the quarter,
That's
man.
insane.
You're talking about, if you do that, you're almost going to be at $500 billion for the year, right? If you can get that each quarter, right? So that's going to be an absolute monster. You're talking about their revenues, market caps.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about that, look at Amazon.
Yeah, but their revenue, so their revenues is fine, but again, the margin on a lot of that is very small.
It's lower margin.
Yeah, because we'll spend like $5,000 a year on Amazon, but it's through buying toothpaste.
Exactly.
So they're making a couple cents.
Higher margins on AWS compared to obviously the
higher margins. I mean, there's almost no margins on the retail side of things. So how to deliver that stuff as fast as they can.
Yeah,
that's probably a loss leader right there, and I don't know enough about Amazon to talk like that. So, but I do know that Amazon is a big part of the portfolio, and we'll see what it winds up happening there into their number. And this was that example that we had about investing, right? It's like Amazon goes up, Amazon comes back in. This is where you get interested in buying it, and then this pop up. You can sell some off here if you're getting nervous about any of these quarters that we're about to see on Wednesday. You sell it off, it drops down in 10%, you buy more, right? 10% gives you not even that far down. That'll put you right back in here in the 240s again. So we'll see if Amazon wants to hold that bid out there as well. All right, let's go over and check out the trade rate to see what's going on right now. So this is eSignal's trade rate. So right here, 52-week highs today for NVIDIA, 52-week highs today for Micron, 52-week highs in the S&P 500, 52-week highs on Intel today, on XE. Well, that was just a brand new IPO. EDSA, whatever that is. There's our good friend Google, of course, and it's what a good friend that's been. 350, their brand new all-time highs, and that's about it right now. And they're saying for us to look at NVIDIA, AMD. So this is the trade rate. There's a bunch of different scanners you can have up here. I like the trade rate. It gives you names that are sort of trading with some sort of velocity to them there. So there's XE. Did XE break that? Why is XE so hot on here? I mean, we talked about that the other day. Oh, there it is. Flush from the highs. So remember we said what the high was, 34.57? We actually got up to there again and then flush off that. It looks like it's trying to support the 200 period moving average. I could see that one starting to go. Maybe we'll look at that. Is this TeraWolf? We like TeraWolf there today. $21 up 5% for Wolf. So let's have a quick look over there. Yes, that is TeraWolf. So there's TeraWolf, $21. They're looking actually to take out the highs on their daily chart as well. There's TeraWolf, nice move higher there, 21.50 data name, taking out some levels there. About 50 cents away from their highs is TeraWolf. Man, honestly, Joe,
what's up, brother?
TSLA is fine.
Yeah, but you like...
But pass me like a pillow or something. I mean, this is honestly, I can't... I know I like to take pennies.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little bit much for me
Yeah,
now.
yeah. You got to hammer the shares on.
Yeah, you really got to hammer it, and I
Yeah.
didn't really do that. So I'm losing a little bit of patience in there.
I wanted to talk about this Yas here.
Yeah, someone just said, yes, queen.
Yes, it is halted to the top side with a tap of $1.92. Now we're halted at $1.87 there, guys. You can see it with a tap of $1.92. Going to open up here momentarily. What time did it halt at? Approximately 101. Or sorry, 301. So it should open up pretty soon at $1.92. So watch out, just in case it decides to tank there, guys. Sharif's definitely the one who's been trading these ones, but Yas has been performing relatively well. Speaking of performance, 3.5% on NVDA is absolutely insane on today's session. Same thing with Google. We like talking about the larger names. I know you don't. I know you find it boring. Wait until you try NVDA. If you want to talk about more action, check out NVDA.
It's not that I find it boring. It's just like...
No, but I'm just saying, like, as for TSLA, NVDA, you'll like more. A little bit higher of a flyer, more expensive, around that $100 mark right now, and you get that 2-to-1. So I like, listen, you can smirk at me.
I'm not smirking at you.
No, but listen to me.
See, NVIDIA's only $200 to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. But no, if you want to talk about Action Jackson, if you're going to dabble into TQs, into TSLA, did I remind you of something, Action Jackson?
Yeah, because, go ahead, I'll say that.
And then NVDL is definitely the more of a high flyer.
Okay, we'll take a look at NVDL. Yeah. No, you know when you stay at these resorts, and some night, and we went there with our kids, so some nights there's they have the entertainment.
Yeah, you like the shows that they do?
Yeah, there was a great Michael Jackson one.
Was there? Yeah.
Yeah, man, it got me dancing.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I like some of those tunes. There's actually that new, regardless of, I don't want to talk about character or anything like that, but his music was pretty hot fire, man.
Yeah, man, $2, boom, 212, open up on Yas as it's climb up to 215, just like that. That thing was off to the races. Now 220, continuing to climb. Oh my, Lanta, if you were to mark it on open this one, you would grab 10% just like that, Sharif. Sean.
Yeah, I'll take that comment. Yeah, no problem there.
Because you guys are both on dumbbells, so I got you mixed up.
Very, very similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very identical.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, a nice break, about 130% on Yas.
I wanted to show you, speak of Sharif.
Yeah.
Here's HTCO. I don't even know if I heard him mention any other stock. He was loving HTCO.
Yeah, he was like
there today. So a couple halts coming through on HTCO and a big name there today. Maybe we can be reminded if Adara's kicking back there, which he always is, of the HTCO news, because there today we were up quite nicely there. This is High Trend Interna Group. I can look it up and see what's going on there, but a nice move up there. Wow, $57, fading right back out right now, taking out some of those levels. Looks like we might have had a reverse split-ish or so there, maybe. Yeah, definitely. Oh, no, was this a new IPO or something coming through? Oh, no, it was about 50 cents. Yeah, reverse split 10-to-1, and now going there, HTCO on one, as the kids say right now, to the upside. But fading back out now, trying to hold out on your 200 period. VWAP there holding $30. We can see what happens to HCTO. That TSLL, okay. Puff, puff, pass. We'll just put a bid on this one right now and see if we get a 28 and see if we can grab that. Take a look on our good friend NVIDIA. Couldn't keep it down for long, man. It broke through 215, but not for very long. Went to 214.80. Intel would be another one that we're trying to look at for potential long. I mean, I'm not really seeing anything developing. And, you know, do we want to go long or short? I mean, we just got to bounce off. I should have been paying a little bit more attention to the futures because this is going to be my P&L number one today is the TQQs. And we almost got into VWAP right there. So we'll see if we can bounce off of $62 if we do get in there. I'm exhausted, man. I had such a tiring weekend.
Yeah, you're saying.
Yeah, not much sleep. And then yesterday, just it was great. Not going to hate on the fresh air. That
it was much.
Man. Like we were all last week, man. A lot of fun there. Obviously in Mexico.
Yeah. And you guys just got back from vacation.
And then we just got back, and I came in the very next day there on Friday.
Yeah.
Give you a little bit of a break, obviously. Not that you asked for one, but it was obviously, and you deserve as much time off as possible.
Yeah.
There, and then busy weekend, but it was great. Like it's great to be back in the swing of things. Are you a baseball playing guy or not really?
No, I was when I was younger. I played a little bit. I never played in a league though. I just played pickup with the friends.
Wouldn't it be fun if we actually had like and maybe a little bit? Okay, there we go. We get some.
Put the
TSLA.
Trader TV team in there, like in an
fun?
actual league.
Yeah, Adair, who's behind us there? Only Sia. Sia, you play baseball or?
I've wanted to try though.
Okay. Any sports? Any sports?
I
basketball,
used to play
right?
basketball in badminton in high school, and I still play basketball.
Badminton?
Badminton, yeah.
Yeah, I like badminton.
I'm a dangerous badminton
Are
player.
you? No,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I'm
man. I'm dangerous.
Okay.
I'm dangerous.
What? This guy always is questioning me, eh?
I'm not questioning
I'm
you.
a very badminton. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one there. No, because while we were on vacation, what about pickleball?
Pickleball.
Do you know what pickleball is?
pickleball.
No, what is that
You
one?
don't know what pickleball is?
Oh, yeah, same thing essentially. But
like
okay,
that,
with the ball,
it's like taking the
pickleball,
world by
yeah,
storm
yeah,
right here.
exactly.
It's
It's
those-
that
it's
and
like-
paddle. Yeah, it's like the air. It has like the holes in it, right?
It's like,
Pickleball.
it's like grown up ping pong.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were playing a little bit of that. That was a lot of fun.
Paddle is apparently taking storm. Have you ever played?
No.
So it's identical to the pickleball thing, but what you have is two glass walls behind you, kind of like the squash.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But with
squash is fun.
a tennis ball, and then you can
fun.
allow it to essentially hit off the back wall. But
Pickleball is like taking over everything.
I can't play it right now though.
No, So I'm not supposed to be able to
Stop and start.
Yeah, stop and start real quick on my knee, which has been almost 8 years right now. But pickleball is hot because they can now, especially here in Canada, when the rinks, they don't use them in the summertime.
No, they made courts.
So they
over in
put them.
Mississauga.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, in
there's a lot of,
Mississauga, there's a couple.
You know what would be fun? Also, making a team and playing football. I don't mean American football. I mean like soccer.
Soccer, football. Yeah, I think any of these things would be fun. I think we could do like a base, like Fabian.
What about softball?
Yeah.
Like a slow pitch kind of league. That way it's easy. You have
Get
no
in
problems.
there, get in there.
Get in there and do it. I mean, Brendan's played. We've all played. Neil's played.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sharif's somewhat athletic. He probably wanted to play something there. I know he likes tennis.
We get him at DH.
He's like,
Get
Sharif?
at DH, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, I think that'd be hilarious. We can do that. Andre wants to do it. We have some of our viewers could join us as well if you're located.
Have you ever been to Lob Factory? I think that's something that we need to do as like a team.
I'm down for it. Look, Neil's supposed to
Lob
be.
Factory.
There's also bowling.
Exactly. So the last time we went bowling, I organized it myself.
Yeah, nice.
I left it up to Neil. Was supposed to be doing, and I'll talk about this with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was going to set up a Trader TV like meet and greet.
Yeah.
So, but if I leave that up to him, that may never.
You never
happen.
never meet and greet the individuals. Nonetheless, all right, guys, right back in 119%. I'm down for any form of sports.
Bowling would be fun.
Bowling would be fun as long as there's no stop.
Are you a
and
decent
stuff.
bowler or?
I was all right back in the day. I mean, but see, the thing is though, like this guy's like, yeah, I don't really play pool all that much, and the next thing you know, you're a pool shark. Brother, so
I used to
anything
play.
you say, yeah.
I
So
told you.
so anything you say in regards to bowling, I'm gonna be like, yeah, all right, whatever, man. So I got to take a couple of practice. I mean,
There's nothing better. My brother and I had a pool table in our basement.
Yeah, I used to, but I never got any good at it.
Okay.
What is
no, I was going to say, Adair, what was the news behind HTCO today again? Because high
I
trend
haven't even
just halt.
seen, but I'll look at it right now. HTCO, you said?
Yeah.
High trend.
Yeah,
They don't have news. They just halted and halted and halted and halted.
Yeah.
Now, last Wednesday, April 22nd at 9 a.m., they announced a strategic expansion into lithium resources. But other than that, like you guys can see here on Benzinga, halt.
Yeah.
Halt.
So it just halted again. So that's
all I have. There's no news.
Okay, I was surprised because that's what I was hearing. All I heard Sharif talk about was HTCO. So I expected there to have been something today. I mean, we talked about this early on as it was halting during you and I show, Joe, in the beginning of the day. We opened up to like 3 or 4 or 5 straight halts right now. Rocket Lab starting to move upside a little bit. We're just hearing investors Business Daily making a comment on Rocket Lab today as that gets going. ASTS is another name, Astis, AST Space Mobile, gets going on talk, of course, and this has been a pretty hot stock for a while, but starting to fade out now as we wait for SpaceX IPO to eventually come through. More, we got to go to who? Okay, then before we go to Sia, you more excited for Anthropic or SpaceX?
Anthropic.
Same.
Yeah.
Sia, you like Anthropic or SpaceX? Either of those tickling your fancy there?
Okay. Anthropic, me too. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the board. Mixed sentiment here, electric technology. There's a mix of red and green. NVIDIA up by 3.5% after that news that Pony AI has unveiled its next generation autonomous driving domain controller, which will be built on the NVIDIA Drive Hyperion platform. And then in tech services, we have Google currently up 2.3%. And then we have Meta currently trading flat after hearing that China has blocked Meta from acquiring Manus AI for $2 billion. That deal has been scraped off. And then we have in the finance sector, BRKB up 0.76%, JPM up in the green 1.2%. Pretty mixed sentiment still here. Robinhood down 1.2%. And then moving on to consumer services, we had that report, let me just open this. We had that report from Domino's today with a missed earnings, the report that we saw by $10 million as per analyst expectations. Currently, DPZ down on the day, almost 9%. MACD down 2.4%. Tesla is currently trading flat, but in the green, up 0.83%. Amazon in retail trade also down 1%. Sending it back to you.
Thank you. I want to do this leading into earnings, guys. We know Wednesday after the bell is going, as Sean mentioned, it's going to be a Super Bowl. So it's going to be a star-studded lineup. And with that being said, we want to see what the derivatives market is telling us for expected moves. So right now we're sitting at $371 as a potential high and $332 as a potential low here on Google at 5.5% expected move. Slight uptick in the implied volatility. All right. So not too bad of a look there. I have Google, I'm pretty sure, on one of my Sean's and I's weekly picks, so that's going to be absolute hot fire. He has SanDisk. Moving forward, let's take a look at Microsoft and see what we got going on from an expected move. 6.1% with a high of 450 and a low of 398. Okay, once again, 6.1%. And this is a name that really hasn't found its footing yet, in my opinion. It's been down substantially. You went on this absolute monster run, and then you give back the majority of that in half the amount of time, and then sure enough, you continue and remain around those lows. Next name we're going to do is Amazon. As we move forward, Amazon, what are we looking at from an expected move standpoint? So this is going to be, earnings there, bang. We're looking at a 4.8 expected move with a high of 273 and a low of 248 on Amazon. Now, Meta, one of Sean's picks on the week. Let's see what we are looking at here. Digital ad revenue probably going to come in at a beat, I believe. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that. 6.9% move, expected move here with a high of 724 and a high of 630. We know that with Meta's previous earnings report, you had that massive gap up. It just went on an absolute monster rally and then gave back the majority of that move after that. A couple more here before we send it back to Sean, and that's going to be Qualcomm, also signing a deal with OpenAI, Sam Altman and company. Again, I think it's just a really competitive space to be creating a hardware device, a mobile phone, considering you have Google, you have the Androids, and then you have the iPhone, which holds a dominant market share. Now, as for Qualcomm, we're looking at an 8.7% expected move with a high of around $163.78 and a low of around $137. At the money, IB really starting to pick up at 85.7%. So you're going to see an increase in options premium throughout the whole reporting cycle here today, guys, especially in some of the bigger names.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, good little call there, and people loving that website. So thanks for introducing us to that one. I was thinking just here on the TQs, I actually think we break longer on the futures if we take this day high out. Good support there at VWAP. I mean, we were short. We were short. I don't have a problem flipping over to the long. I think that, when you are a prop trader, you got to have that mentality a little bit to be able to say either A, you're wrong, or B, I judge charts almost by the second, by the minute for sure. And, be able to look at something and be able to tell where the momentum is. And I just, the fact that we didn't get to VWAP, we basically held this 200 period moving average. We got close enough to it that I like that support hold down here. So now the next sort of thing to break out is the high of the day. And if we're able to do that, then I think giddy up, man, and we get into maybe even these pre-market levels of $63 again, and we take out some levels, because we have to ask ourselves the question. I mean, as hot as a lot of these names have been that you just talked about, Joe, I mean, people are going to be short into earnings, or potentially just short into tomorrow, then a cover before Wednesday. I don't know what to think on that, but for right now, I think this is a decent break opportunity. I really like the chance that we tried, we tested, we bounced, now we're getting higher, so nothing wrong right there. We did get I'm still going to stick into this until it breaks. We talked about getting a little sleepy there on TSLL, but we were able to do fine on it. We were able to get out. That was a good short there at 35, 36. Some more fills there in the high 20s. We don't have any low 20s. And now I'm just going to use it against that high. We're not too far away from that right now, 45. So if we can break above that, then we'll get out. We just put a little bit more on there at 39. So that was the 39 fill there. If we can drop back into the let's just say low 30s, let's go 30. I mean, our stop is now 7 pennies, so let's just try to go 1-to-1. If we can get it back here, then I think that'd be a great opportunity to get out. 12.30. As I said, I think the futures look like they want to, it looks like they want to take the high. So when that happens, we do have some worries here, and that is the short Tesla will probably get squashed if that does happen. So we have our order. We're ready to go. If the TQs, or even just here, if you guys are trading the Qs or the NASDAQ, we can look at the NASDAQ as well, either the micro minis or the actual minis we can look at there, or the cash position with the Qs as a stock here. But that looks like if we can break anywhere around here, 664.15, 664.20, something like that breaking. If we zoom back out a little bit, that's that high that we're thinking we can get into. So I would say there's about $1.20 or so worth of interest back up to the upside there for the Qs. And I do like that break. If you take it out, which is right into there, forget about this high wick there. That probably didn't happen. Our system gets carried away a little bit. 664.20 or so. And I think if you come back in and you lose about 70 or 80 cents on that, you can get out. So we'll see what winds up happening there. So that's my little take there on the Qs. We just did have a little bit of a move down into 33s. I didn't actually even put a bid down there. Let's put a bid at 32. We'll see if we can get something out there on Tesla. If that goes, I see the questions in there, buy, sell, or hold on NVIDIA. I mean, it always depends on what your positioning is. I got out once we broke that 50-period moving average. I still think the short looks okay up here. We have protection with your high of the day. And what I mean by protection is not anything other than it's your out. You don't have to think twice about it. It's if it hits, it hits. And it takes you out and you don't get back in. I've been stubborn in my trading career of, I don't believe it, so I short it here, right here. It breaks out, then it comes back in 10 cents. Like, okay, I got out too early, and I get back in, then it rips the high again. I think in a trade like this, where the momentum is definitely not on your side if you're going short, you want to make sure that reversion is true, and you get out on a day high break. So whether or not you give this one to 216.50, I don't mind it at all, but you got nowhere near this to give me an idea of a break lower. So I still like the long there. I wouldn't touch this for the short just quite yet. I know I'm short Tesla, but Tesla and NVIDIA, not quite the same. NVIDIA's had a nice move back up, though, today. That is for sure. Let's go back over, and we can't talk about Tesla without looking at an AMD potentially for a minute there. AMD downside, down 3%, kind of barcoding, so no surprise why we're not really trading too much here as we wait for the big one to come through. Just seeing XOM hitting a bit here on the scanner, 150 break down through there today. A good move on it. Okay, so bouncing off of, again, the 200 period. So XOM's had a little bit of a move down over the last 20 minutes, now basing out at 148.50. So that could be a decent long now. I mean, nothing's really hitting the scanners everywhere. We did have some silver. We talked a little bit about that earlier as that was taking out days high, and that right now is at the 200 period. So, at the 50 period right here at the 200 period on our 5-minute chart. So we're getting identified there. And actually, you know what? We did talk about that, hitting these levels. So that was a nice pullback on silver, but only worth 20 cents. So not really much going on over there. on silver. What else do you guys want to talk about? AMPX. Okay, what's up, Commodity Kings? Thanks for a name there. Amperis Technologies, AMPX. We just called it up on the e-signal chart as well, as we'll have a quick little look there. Up 5%, so good day there for them. Don't know exactly too much about this name, what was it? AMPX. Amperis Technologies, near its all-time highs as well, 22 bucks and change. Looking pretty... I mean, you know, you get a cross. I don't necessarily believe in any of these death crosses here, but that would be your 200 and your 50 crossing up on a 5-minute chart. Nice move higher there. I would say if you're in this Commodity King, you might want to hold it till 2140. If you're the same Commodity King that I know, we like IoT and Samsara, Internet of Things. So this has been a good one. We were getting long in the 30s, mid-30s of this name, but we did have some dip buy opportunities to take advantage of that into the 24-25 marker. Nice move back up to 32. I like Samsara, Internet of Things, a possible name there. Just reminded me of them possibly turning EPS positive, and I remember when that happened for Palantir, really shot the moon. I don't even know if we want to look at Big Bear AI right now. That's been not the greatest stock. Sure, BBAI. I was gonna say it's still probably sub $4. So I'm still stuck long at 420 on this one. Have not bought anything recently at this at all. The 420 is still the mastermind of this move down. As we saw this go up, we saw it come back down, and then we just started buying levels. I remember I bought this level at 550, then we bought this level down here at 450, and then we bought something down here around $3, which gave me an average price of 420, and we talked about it all the way down, and we talked about it all the way back up, and to the point where we got an 850 tick because we did the same thing on the way back up. We got an average price of 420, then we got some out at 5, then we got some out at 650, then we got some out at 850. Hadn't bought any more. Made it one of the picks of the year for me back in January, and when it was sort of consolidating, then it fell back in. Almost time to put the money where our mouth is. If we can come back into this $3 marker for Big Bear AI, I kind of like that name, but the AI trade is really just seems like it's condensed to the big trades right now. I mean, we see a name like the C3 AI. Some of these other names just continue to get beat up without a proof of concept. Big Bear AI is just a scanning, heat sensors, things like that into stadiums, into airports. You know, that sort of when you put your arms up and they scan around you. That's part of that is Big Bear technology there. So
have we gone through that in going through American security?
Yeah, we didn't have to do it.
We don't have that here.
No, it is in.
No, I'm okay. Okay, yeah.
I guess it probably depends on where you're going. I think if you travel into Europe, maybe they get you the body scan there. But I don't know enough about flight logistics for that talk. But anyways, yeah, Big Bear AI, an interesting name for that. So I think if we can get into $3, we may pick up some more Big Bear AI. And their report coming later on this month as well, later on in the month of May.
I remember I tried to counter your play with some Rich Tech Robotics that hasn't been performed.
Oh, my robotics play is ARKB.
Okay, yeah.
That's Bitcoin. ARKQ.
Yeah.
That's a robot. Here it is right here. The robotics ETF.
Long buy.
And we actually bought this when... we actually bought this live on the show, actually. And I think it was 107 or 111, something like that. It was down into here, and there was on the way back up, and there was an announcement made, in and around here. I think we bought it together on the show. It was breaking back out through there, and it was on news. There was some Tesla news, there was some robotics news. That got really cooking there, but fell back in on all that IGV worry a little bit. Could have bought some more, actually, and it would have done well to do that, up to 129. So this is my Cathy Wood sort of play right now. I own a small piece of ARKK, which is the innovation. This is the flagship for Cathy Wood. It's actually not doing too bad.
No, not too bad. I mean, Cathy, some of her ETFs were getting beaten to a pulp for quite some time. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to head back to what we were talking about not too long ago. We're just going to correlate some of these
TSLA
expected moves. We have Robinhood after the close on Tuesday. So let's take a look at the options chain and see if we see any outstanding open interest, any call or put walls or anything along those lines at that $90 mark. So that's $7 roughly from where we are right now. Options AI, where are we going to be looking at an expected move? And what the potential of the high could be here on Robinhood, and that's going to be of 93.93. So where is that next closest marker? And do we have any outstanding size leading into that report, or anywhere down the expiration cycle where we can go like, hey, okay, at $90 we have 12,000, but the nearest dated, which is going to be putting us right around here, that May 1st. We'll head over to the weekies. Okay, they're actually there. So May 1st, 120% at the money IV. As you can see, we have an uptick on that front. But at that $90 mark, you have 15,000 contracts. There was something that I was looking at anyways, aside from that, this Friday, that is going to be that expiration cycle. They report tomorrow after the bell, so keep your eyes out over there. And then we'll head back over to the mag groups that are continuing to climb. I've seen something interesting on AAPL reporting Thursday after the bell, but what we have going on May 4th, we'll head over to this expiration cycle once again, just to see if we can see any outstanding size and any potential call or put walls. And I'm not seeing anything on Google. Meta, typically light in the options volume, right? Just considering it's a relatively expensive stock, you would think you would see a little bit more, but that's not necessarily the case, right? People looking for that leverage style play, FBL, but that's where the derivatives market really comes into factor. It's just like, okay, well, we don't have this amount of capital. Obviously, there's a catch to something at the end of the day. It's like the fine print, but you can really use options as that leverage style play and help you get involved with names that you may not necessarily be able to if you're just going with a cash account or if you don't have a margin account. Now, $700 could be the mark. We talked about that being a potential high, a little bit higher than that here in META, but on this week's expiration cycle, 10,300 contracts open and still. So maybe we can run into that zone, and then I wouldn't be surprised if you see somewhat of a rejection. And then we also have Amazon, and we want to take a look at this name, AMZN, and see what we have from an options open interest standpoint. At 270, at that 270 mark, we have 11,700 contracts open at that specific level. And what was our expected move here? We'll take a look at the high potentially on the earnings report of 273. All right, so not too far off of that one. 273 with the 4.8% expected move here. So not too bad of a look. Implied volatility, you're going to see the uptick to 50.6%. And just going through some of the names. And I honestly only see this through one, and that's NVDA. Like when I look at it into the earnings report, you just see a substantial amount of open interest and options activity start to step in. And then it's like, oh, okay, it all makes sense when you have the ability to correlate a couple of the things and see what we're
talking about, man. Trading has to be fun. Ryan O'Day wanted to mention that it seems to be that we're having some fun here today, which we are, Joe.
Yeah, but isn't that...
I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah, for sure, man. Ask me anything. Oh, dude, today, I was going to ask you that. I was actually going to ask you, did you finish yours?
No, man.
Oh, man. We only have a couple more days left, my boy.
No, I'm very, very close. I just gotta fill out some more things.
Yeah, I'm stuck between two things. Am I just gonna go send it over to H&R, or am I gonna sit here?
My guy, H&R, this is filing in 3 days.
Hey, it's as long as it's filed before. Like,
well, it depends if you're owing or not.
Exactly.
If you're owing, they'll ding you on some sort of interest. But if it's receiving, they don't really care when you file. We did just get hit. Finally, TSLA. We'll ring the registers on that one. We'll go cha-ching, and we're going to go to C in 1 second. But there it is. So we did take a 34. We did take a 32 there as well as we continue to drop down in. And there it goes, man. And as I noted before, in order to make this interesting, we got to take a few more shares. So we do that there at 40, and there's a move down on TSLL. All right, Sia, what you got for us?
Money talks. So U.S.-Iran clashes in the Strait of Hormuz are fueling oil towards the 130s range, but they're sparking safe haven flows into the USD, which is currently trading around the $100 mark, currently at 98 to be precise. So higher oil and global uncertainty are also keeping markets cautious. The yen also under pressure near the 160 per dollar area. Watch out for any BOJ signals on rates or intervention. Also, the euro is being shaped by expectations around the coming ECB policy. That's all. Sending it back to you.
Yeah, U.S. dollar a little bit spicy there. As we talked about, the NASDAQ just kind of going upside out of control, it seems like, these days. And you're just mentioning the salmon pretty good. I was saying to Joe, I like spicy mayo if you get a little bit of that on the salmon there. sushi, some maki rolls and whatnot. I love salmon so much. Salmon is so much more elite than the tilapia around here. I think it's Neil made a good choice on that one. Okay, so yeah, we were also asked for the imbalances. So Kenview today, although I'm getting a little bit, I'm slightly.
Kenview's always on there.
Kenview's always on here, yeah. There might be someone dumping some shares there. Of course, that was a Johnson & Johnson split off there. That's Tylenol and all that stuff. All right, so CVX, on here as well, GDX. I'm not really concerned about any of these numbers. I mean, these are not huge numbers at all. So, Mr. Super Chat? Okay, let's go find out if we did miss it. Okay, here we go. What are your strategies for stocks? We got that one. Joe, here we go. Easy peasy with the stock right here. Ching ching. 0.2%, so $2.40. So
he comes in with this.
Cash register. Oh, there we go. I hit the cash register, but I realized it's the same sound as when it first hits there. So Joe wants options, not stocks. Yeah, so there you go, NVDA. So yeah, options and stocks. I mean, I think when you are options. I mean, I guess the largest derivative is 3x. Do we know of a 4x one? I don't know. They should be capped, right? I don't think they should
outside of, remember when we had those crypto plays where you had like the 50x leverage?
That's crypto. I mean, like if we're talking about equity.
Yeah, within the market, I don't think you
someone will come up with something probably over there.
No, I don't.
Oh, Dog in this fight sent me one. No, man, the extras still know I have to do this. Oh my God. It's like 50, what is it? What did I say it was? $100 a month?
Yeah, I know.
I just got to do this, man. My kids would love it. Everybody would love this. So please tell me I have not. This is ridiculous. It is insane. I do just want to try it for 1 month. You said something funny on the midday show the other day. You're like, I just want to get like something that I can just get automated. So just send me to work and back. And
exactly.
I don't even have to worry about it. So I think we'll definitely try that. I might as well do it. But I think.
Why would you not? Like, isn't that kind of like the whole?
No, I really love driving.
Actually,
yeah.
I like road trips, but you like inner city.
Dude, I give you my car for one night.
You have fun with it?
You would. I
think the question is, would I have more fun just letting the software?
No, you wouldn't, because there's no fun in that.
Why?
Oh, just relaxing, sitting back. What are you going to be reading? What are you going to be doing? Studying options? Or
something?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think it's much more relaxing to obviously get full self-drive.
Yeah.
I should try it out. I mean, it's just big.
Yeah, why? Isn't that the whole point of getting a Tesla?
No.
No. Like, no, there's like two things, like the EV aspect.
Well, first of all, I mean, it's charging up for free, literally downstairs. I mean, it came in with 30%, leaving with 100%. So it's all good.
So you have no fuel expense.
No, I haven't had it for a year and a half, man. I've had this. I got this. Well, actually, just coming up to a year. Actually, it was last May.
I think I've only been in a Tesla when I take an Uber, so I've never driven one actually. So
yeah, how can we get that? How can we get that done? What? Because you're always working on the midday.
Yeah. So why don't you how about we do this? You get FSD for.
No, but I want you to drive it.
No, hold on, listen to me. Let me finish the scenario first. Okay. All right. So you get FSD for the month. You just type in my address. You come pick me up in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we just FSD all the way into the office.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, Joe, come on. No, but I want you to actually drive. FSD for you is just going to be like a cab because no one's.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
Yeah,
but it's the whole experience. You know what I mean?
No, I know, and that's what I want to try it out as well. We have a trip coming to Vermont for hockey.
So you're gonna
Nah, I mean I'm not gonna want to be stuck in that. It's just a Model 3.
Does it take away from the northern road trip? You know how you go up to the cottage in the summertime, and it's actually fun driving. But inner city, I think there's a little bit more use because it's just so much stop and start.
Dave says, what are you saying there, Dave? You're at 90. What is 91? I use 98%. What does this mean? So FSD actually calculates how much FSD you're using. That's pretty cool. 98% of the driving on FSD. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool to have it. Maybe you know what? I just have to get it. I mean, what is $100? Like honestly, it's $4, $5.
You can always cancel it.
Driving in. Yeah, it's not.
It's not like you're locked.
Honestly, the amount of money that sometimes I feel like we spend on stupid things.
Other things, think about how many Amazon packages you think you ordered today.
No, don't get me started. I'm already in a decent mood, man. I don't need to get any worse of a mood than that right now. I'm just glad I own the stock.
Yeah, exactly. You get that to pay for it.
90. Okay, here we go. Dogs in the Fight drove to Boston. What and Florida? See, this to me is what it's at. You know, you stop by, you get the Chick-fil-A on the road, you know, you grab your coffee. Drove Boston to Florida and back. So Boston from here is about 11 hours when we drove it last summer.
Actually?
But the thing is, just a small model, I feel like I'm going to go with the wife and the kid. That might be a little tight in that to drive that far. But Vermont's only 8.5 hours. About 2 hours outside of Montreal. So I think it's maybe even less than that. Montreal's like 5 hours.
That'll be a good time.
Vermont, everybody.
The market's starting to come back in here. I forget
about the market.
Yeah, I know. We're in the FSD everything here now. Nice little bounce there in Bitcoin. I mean, we got 20 minutes left. Maybe we'll find a little bit of a recovery here today. We were talking about some of the options activity heading into the reports on Wednesday after the bell. And then we also have the much anticipated Robinhood Tuesday after the bell, so I'm looking forward to that one.
What is the implied move on Robinhood? Does your website have that?
We were just
because I think that would be something exciting to check out. I mean, I think Robinhood, that 100. I always feel like when you have
12% roughly. Are you dead? Are they saying you're muted now?
No. I think it was just my acting a fool. Is that better, Andre, or? See, sometimes you just gotta.
But it's the old school trick, right? Like if it doesn't work, you just kick it or hit it. No, at 12.2%, right?
12%. Okay, so we're going out right now. Robinhood at what? 90.
Right now we're at $83.
80, oh yeah, that's right. I had a little bit of a move down today. So $83. You add 12% to that. You're gonna talk about another 9 and change bucks onto that. Puts you into the mid 90s. Let's just say on Robinhood. I think that's very, very doable. For anybody trading with Robinhood, I think you can get definitely that 9%, if not a little bit more. I mean, especially if crypto starts to go there. But if we're talking about earnings, I actually think it's going to be a bad quarter for them. And let me just say why. And it's because of crypto trading. I can't imagine that in the range that Bitcoin was in. And let's just call it Bitcoin right here as a chart, not IBIT. But if you look at what BTC's been doing, Bitcoin. We'll type that in right here. We'll look at it on Coinbase. And if we just look at that and we sort of zoom back out for the quarter, obviously that move down was nice. If you're trying to catch the short, I feel like more people might have been holding on for dear life and not trading while this was happening. And then I don't know if there was enough conviction in here or enough movement to get people actually excited once again about crypto. Obviously, that last little move higher there, some of those numbers will and won't be in the quarter. I'm not sure when their quarter end is, but there's the move higher there. So I just feel like for this time being right into there, I just don't see that much revenue coming via the crypto space for Robinhood.
Can I say something? Let me say this about it. I find it weird because typically in downtrends we see a little bit more volume, right? Like volume stepping in. So that'd be more transactions, more essentially fees being held. But yet when crypto moves lower, we're like, hey, the quarter is going to be bad. But if we're going off a transaction basis, you can see that the volume upticks. So wouldn't that be better for the company?
Which company? How much does Robinhood? You tell me. I don't know how much Robinhood holds. How many Bitcoin does Robinhood hold? I mean, if they don't hold anything, then no, then it won't make a difference.
But what I'm getting at here at the end of the day is like if we're saying that, hey, if something's moving lower and the quarter might not be good because Bitcoin's selling, but if there's transactions being,
I'm just saying there is. I don't think. Look at the transactions.
Yeah, look at the amount of volume.
Oh, into there, fine.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm saying that's starting from February. Like I just wonder what the 3 months
in Robinhood.
Yeah.
I mean, that's reflected of the stock, not necessarily what's going through the exchange.
So more. Okay, a lot of that volume, I bet you, is not retail trading.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. You're going to have bigger institutions. In their buying. Now we don't know what we'll hear about. We'll hear about the quarter, but I believe even last quarter, I believe crypto transactions were down.
Down.
So I don't know, because think about us as a show. How much did we used to talk? Like when Bitcoin was at 125, you and Shreve had your bets going.
Yeah, we had that.
Where's it going to go? And like right now, everyone's scared to say, are they buying the dip? Is anyone getting involved? Over here, everyone's worried that Michael Saylor is getting liquidated, so on and so forth. So I just worry that potentially bad quarter there for them. But there still is a trading revenue side of it as well. I mean, with the NASDAQ going to all-time highs right now, ES going to all-time highs, many of the names floating around.
And Bitcoin's still down.
Yeah, a couple. I mean, there hasn't been like the GME, GameStop sort of movements yet. We had Open Door that was going nuts about 6 to 8 months ago. So, those numbers.
Car was, as of late, Car.
Yeah, Car was good. Car might have been too expensive before it even got going. But yeah, so we'll see. You know what? I mean, Can we do a YouTube poll, if anything, Andre or Fabian right now? Why don't we just say Robinhood higher? Can we just say Hood? So $Hood, higher or lower after earnings? I think that's reasonable.
I think that's
right?
reasonable, yeah.
And then we can see that way we're not making a huge prediction, greater or less than 12%, whatever. I just say higher or lower on there. I'm going to say lower off the number, but then a really good chance that it battles back to green and goes up from there. But I think when we log in and we see what Robinhood after earnings, so it would be they report Tuesday night. So Robinhood Wednesday morning, higher or lower?
Yeah, I'm with you on the lower.
Okay, you thinking lower as well?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I think it's going to be very, very mixed when we do have that. We have a request. I see you have the imbalances going there.
Yeah.
But that's a little small on the.
Yeah, we'll get a bigger.
Sorted by size, and you have a better size there. But here's what the imbalances look like right now. Not huge by any stretch of the imagination, right? I mean, there's really nothing too much on there. We do not get, for those of you interested in the imbalances, thank you for asking, we don't get imbalance data for the NASDAQ until 350. So names like NVDA and Apple and some of the names you may be interested in, not quite going well. You know, a name that I've been buying some lows in, Oscar. I mean, we've been talking about Oscar Health, and I really have liked that name for a minute, and the reason why is because of these lows. So if you guess that I'm in at this around 12 or 13, you're going to be guessing right. And we've talked about Oscar for a minute, so we're not cherry picking. It did go up here into 23, 24 bucks. We were able to get some out a lot earlier than that. I think we got some out around this $21 mark as we get an alternative to UNH here, Oscar, going a little higher today. UNH was pumping through, I think, 2% as well or so today for United Health. Not sure exactly what the story was with United Health, but they are pumping high side today. Oh, no, actually flat, but just now starting to go actually Adara. So there might not be a crazy story on UNH. It looks like it's just trying to go now.
Confirmed, there is no story.
Yeah, so nothing really going on there. All right, man, the poll is now up. So you guys, I'm going to put this up now. Here it is, Hood, after earnings, Wednesday morning. Where do we think? I'm going to go lower right now. See, we sort of thought this could be the mix. 55-45 right now for this name. So we'll see where the play is going to be here for Robinhood before or after earnings coming through. So thank you, YouTube, for that one. We'll check back with that in about 10 minutes. So get your votes going right now to see what you're thinking. Try not to. I mean, I appreciate Joe saying lower. He's a shareholder there. So try not to let your opinions influence what you're voting. But if it does, that's fine. I mean, nothing wrong with that. 45-55 right now for, as Neil calls it.
Well, I played the reverse psychology game on Jesse Martinez there. He's like, Joe, what did you vote? I said higher, but I actually voted lower. So reverse psychology.
Is that what that is, reverse psychology?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not playing with you, bro. I voted higher, too, though. I didn't vote higher, Jesse. I got you. Voted lower, No, it's obviously, we don't want to joke around with
Nailed
that
it.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So he did, he voted. But no, in all seriousness, I did vote lower. Yes, opening up at 153%. We have a halt. No, it didn't halt again, but it climbed up to $2.50, so not too bad. NVDA 618 call. 420 call could print if it holds. Yeah, let's pull that bad boy up. We were looking at some of the far out options activity on AMD. This morning, actually, I should say, at $450. I don't think we're going to climb there, but that's where we've seen the most amount of activity. We'll head over to NVDA. Why, in particular, this $420 strike? Is there something that really attracts you to that name that's going to bring us out into that June 18th expiration? And let's see what we got going all the way up here. How much did you pay for this? So it's essentially a lottery ticket. Yeah, if that's what you're looking to get at, right? So, I mean, there's so many key things. Thanks, Save Man, Woman, Peace. So there's so many things important. Like, you're not paying anything for this contract. Now, you're not going to probably gain any intrinsic value on it, more or less just time value. And if you understand your objective, then by all means, continue to rock and roll. This thing was worth $12. But if it goes back up to $6, that's 100% return in that contract. So I hope that works out for you. Not a crazy amount of time, but you don't need it with the objective. And it sounds like you kind of know what you're doing. Buying those lottery ticket for those big time moves, and then sure enough, you close it out before you even get it relatively close to the expiration cycle. So I like that style of trading. And once we do get options here, I said that's kind of the approach that I'm going to take, is that, Sean, is like we have the SPY or the Qs call options, right? Like if you go somewhere in the cycle at the open of the day and you just want to place a little bit of a kind of a bet in the direction, you can just go like, hey, This 717, as you get closer to the end of the day, the 717 call option is worth $8. So you're just putting on $8 worth of risk. And if it climbs and it doubles for some reason throughout the intraday, then congratulations, it's essentially 100% return. But if it's not, this is SPY at 717 call that expires like in approximately 13 minutes. But you would buy it significantly earlier, like at the money. And then if it climbs higher, then you close it out way before the end of the day, and you can find yourself in like a 30, 40, 50%, and even in best case scenario, 100% return, while only risking a couple of dollars on the trade. So I like that a lot.
Me too, I like that one. See ya? Madeira? Or nobody.
Or no one.
There it is, crypto. Okay.
Just going to take a look at some coins. So Bitcoin currently trading in the $76,000 region, down on the day 2.4%. ETH also down on the day 3.5% here, trading around the 2,200 mark right now. And Solana as well, down on the day 3%, but currently trading around the $84 mark. There's nothing crazy happening in crypto today, nothing news related, but that's all just giving you the overview of the charts.
All right, RMBS Rambus coming after hours today as well. I mean, Newport, good name there as well. Probably best of breed there. Visa, potentially best of breed. These guys are going to come through as well. Nice downside tick. I mean, this does not look like a very healthy stock, does it, right here? Visa just ticking lower and lower and lower. But we just did take out, sort of broke that trend and got higher as we had some new lower highs being made here as we kept on going, and obviously this way as well, still being respected to the downside there. Tried to break the trend rate here, breaking through that 305 marker, so we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening now with Visa today. I think that's going to be an interesting report coming out. And then we did have RMBS. We talked a little bit about that RMBS right here. Rambus. I think we got a super chat about that earlier as well. So RMBS down 10% heading into earnings there tonight. But what a hot stock this has been. Wow, $80 up to 160. Call that a double in 3 weeks, RMBS. So if you're on that name, you've already done real well as well. We just got a recent halt coming in here, VSA. We only have 30 seconds now. That's TCTM Kids IT Education. Okay. Some of these Chinese education names, I remember when they got sort of defunded there by China, they started going crazy. I can't remember some of those symbols, but they were just like down like 90% and all that in like one day. But here's VSA with a halting move too, and HTCO has been something that has been a halter. I'm in TSLL. We'll wait to see what winds up happening, but right now we do have the imbalances out right now. So we'll actually sort this by the filter here where we get only the broker information. So there it is. Well, there it is. So now we have NASDAQ. I don't know what ACLX is. That looks like a buyout to me right now. So that's a quick sell. There's Rivian. We talked a little bit about, so we have Tesla on board right now, but there's Rivian ticking higher with a little bit of a buy imbalance. So there's Rivian not going too much upside. Ooh, Microsoft with that negative news story today, but down today. And Microsoft, oh yeah, that's right. When I type this in, it actually doesn't show me the up or down now. This is an error. I got to actually take this to our CTO and tell them this is a problem with this. XOM right there, Rivian. CoreWeave today. What is CoreWeave up or down today here as well? CRWV. Just real quickly on this one, up 1.5%. They catch a buy, and they're ticking through the day's high here as well. With that being said, I'm just going to exit out, man. Our Tesla trade did pretty good. We were able to get some out there. Now we're bouncing around, so nothing really going on, but a couple shorts there this afternoon for me on Tesla. That TQQ trade did not break through. I actually canceled the order. It just didn't. Yeah. It happened just in the last 2 minutes. So we were looking for, we called this move, came back in, bounced off VWAP, bounced off the 200. There's the take. I believe if there was more time in the day, and if you're looking to trade after hours, I think this name does continue to go higher than NASDAQ, but then you're fighting earnings. There's the break. Hey, we said we liked the break, and at least it gave us a couple pennies there if you have it. A little too late to get the juice going. Joe and I have to be flat at 4 p.m. every single day. So the juice is loose on the TQs right now as the NASDAQ gets going just a bit higher. They're closing at a gorgeous level right now. Nice end of the day upside as the NASDAQ gets back to Greensville. And I believe the S&P was always green this afternoon. Yeah, up 0.2 right now for the S&P 500. So up and away into the close. And this has sort of been what we've been doing lately, going out near the highs, and today is just another day that ends in Y.
But that was something that we were discussing about earlier this morning during the morning shows. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if you have some initial selling right out of the gate, and then the market does a full-on recovery, which essentially it did. And then you also have a couple other names like Tesla continuing to climb, a big-time V reversal over there. And then we had NVDA touching multiple new all-time highs throughout the intraday session. So, I mean, here it is. You have the pullback, and then shortly after, you just continuously establish these new ones. So blue sky territory in NVDA, the largest, or NVDA, sorry, I should say. So used to trading these leverage names, but blue sky territory for the largest market capitalization company in the stock market. You breached that 212, and sure enough, it was a breakout. And I was talking about this, right? Like, look at this big time move in AMD. Like, this is monstrous. 69% to where we're currently trading at. But like in the span of a month, you have from the trough there to the peak, 76.7%. Right? Like in the span of a little bit when the stock wasn't doing anything whatsoever. And then we also talk about the Marvels. One thing that we, I think needs to be discussed is that Jensen $2 billion into Marvell. So are we really looking at them as an aggressive competitor, especially when they're putting investment into that? So, I mean, at the end of the day, $75 all the way up to 169, that's 121%. So a lot of good, strong moves. And I just think it's time for NVDA to have a sustained and strong breakout, 46% in Broadcom. Right, so I mean, it's just strength across the board in these chip names, and in a trade that we thought that was going to cool down for the year. And I remember last year, Katina, man, I was like, there was a very little chance when we were talking about this. I think it was after the tariff tantrum. I'm like, just the way that the market was looking, I'm like, I don't think we see the market into a new high. Boom, what does Donald Trump decide to truth? Buy stocks. And then next thing you know, a couple of months later, all-time highs. Right? And it was the same narrative here. It's like, okay, we have the conflict in Iran. We're down 12% in the SPY. We're down 8% in the NASDAQ. We have all of the Mag 7 with the exception of Apple, all in bear market territory. Well, that's a thing of the past clearly now, Sean, as we have NVDA at all-time highs, Broadcom, we have Google putting in all-time highs today, Amazon on the brink of it as well, too. So the only one really now lagging are, the ones lagging now are Tesla and Microsoft. So it's been an absolute monstrous and strong recovery. I think a lot of it has to do with the CapEx.
I 100% agree, and that's why we're saying that it might not be a horrible idea to maybe take something off the table if you're worried about CapEx, because if those numbers come just a little bit lower. Look, tomorrow's trade today, I already know what it is, NVIDIA long. Just got to find a spot. Today we wrote down NVIDIA 208 long. NVIDIA's bottom's 207.50. It's going out at 216. So, you know, we definitely played the momentum to the right side today, thinking that NVIDIA, and you and I opened the show at 8 a.m. talking about how NVIDIA did have a nice push forward here today, especially if we did get close to that all-time high break, and that's exactly what winds up happening, taking out that 212.50 marker. Neil will be happy with this one, as he was upset that he didn't have AMD anymore, but he had. But he
rotated it. But that's what I was saying to him. So he's like, yeah, he sold a little bit of his AMD that he's been in a while, but he's like, I rotated into NVDA. I think that's actually, like, considering what you and I have been preaching, essentially, is that when you go on these big runs, nothing wrong with chipping a little bit out and then rotating in a name that might be lagging.
But the problem was, he got out of AMD at like 250.
Are you ever going to catch the top? I mean, $350, I get that,
It's a
right?
rhetorical question. Right. I mean, no, you're never, ever going to catch the top. And I think that's why I think he was just kind of just playing around with it, but saying that I think there is smart things to do is rotate.
And if you do, is it intentional? Like if you, okay, yeah, you sell at this point and it happens to be the top?
Dude,
I don't think so.
You cannot.
Yeah.
To be able to predict the tops or bottoms of something is virtually impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the bottom's always going to be zero, but I don't know what the top is going to be for some extent. So, yeah, I'm just looking at that today. And then, we actually had a name on here, Poet. Let's just have a quick look at that, as I don't think that that's really been too much of a mover since the early goings on of Poet. So nothing going on here this afternoon other than just kind of barcoding, but this is what it looked like this morning as they got that canceled contract from Marvell. I think I'm getting the headache just because, too tired, and in my throat, my voice. Like I said to Marissa today, I was like, there's no way this thing's going to last all day.
What's that?
Your voice? Because like yesterday we were at baseball a couple of times there. That was really a lot of fun, but like, you know, going back and forth with the kids on the field. And then we coached, we had a sort of a workout for the girls yesterday as well. And that was exciting and interesting. There goes TSLA, fire off the hot dog cannon. Joe, I don't want to take one of those glizzies in the face.
I'm not a big, unless it's from the street, man. Street meat.
Street meat, yeah, that's awesome. Street meat is awesome. Okay, so that's the Glizzy factory. But there comes Tesla right back in, so we'll take a little bit of an advantage of this move back into the end of the day. We'll see if we can bounce off 1227, but I'm just going to get out right now, put a bid there, see if we get it. And that's that, man. So we're all good right now. A couple good trades there today. NVIDIA was well spotted. Come on, NVIDIA. Right there today. So that was a nice move from 214 up there. Now closing at the day's high. Wow. Just play momentum. I think this market is a very, very momentum-based market. That is for sure. So we'll see if that can get going here for NVIDIA into tomorrow, right? As I said, I think tomorrow's trade today, smart to look at NVIDIA long early, see if we get some dip buys into that. And then, honestly, I know we're trading Tesla, but could be something there. And then on earnings day tomorrow too, I think Robinhood probably gets a little bit of love throughout the day tomorrow as people start to position themselves a little bit there for Robinhood. And just thinking about where that could potentially go. So there it is. Now we get our fill there on Tesla to end that trade. So a couple good shorts. We lost our way there trying to short Joe off this little number there, the 200 period. But then we find a top and play with that a little bit. And that's what that is right now for Robinhood. Or for Tesla.
Nice, good look there, guys. A couple of attempts here on AMDL. The second one got us rocking and rolling here. Comes back against us. We stop out break even, but a nice climb higher, all the way up to 32.33 here in AMDL using the leverage product. And then we're also getting involved in some Bitcoin, multiple trades on this intraday session that worked out for us. The first one being our best one. All right, so as Ricky Bobby's dad once said, if you're not first, you're last. And then that's essentially what we have going on here.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, exactly, Talladega Nights.
You have a favorite Will Ferrell movie? Or?
Yeah, Semi-Pro is up there for me.
Semi-Pro, that's a good one there. I like Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is a good one.
Old School is also
old
great.
school. I know.
You know, a little undercover one where it's just seasonal. I mean, Elf. I think you did a great job in Elf.
Anchorman is great as well, too.
Oh, Anchorman is great. Steve Carell in that one as well. All right, Joe, what did you think of the...
Oh, are we ready? Are we doing this?
Well, I mean, it was salmon. I mean, we had roasted and grilled salmon today. That was roasted potatoes. We had the Greek flag. I thought, I mean, I'll give it a 7.5 again. I mean, a good piece of salmon. I thought the veggies were really good. We had some eggplant there. We had some zucchini. Like, first of all, roasted zucchini or grilled zucchini is one of my favorites. There, shout out to my paisans. But what are you giving that thing today?
I'm going to give it a 7.3.
Okay.
I'm down with the.
Well, I'm glad we're somewhat agreeing.
With that is the salmon. I can always give that a high rating. So 7.3 coming from me.
4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it, man. We are now done. So that goes the end of the day today. Thank you, Joe, for joining me. We'll be back with Neil tomorrow. The Nasdaq goes out at 0.2. So relatively flat there today, and relatively flat goes the ES, although we did have some excitement a little bit early and then a little bit as we get into the lunch hour, but then the afternoon grind is real as we continue to grind higher there this afternoon. A couple earnings plays that we'll be looking out for tonight, so check those out, including Visa, Rambus, and a couple other names going through tomorrow's big ones. There with Robinhood, as we talked about. SoFi later on after that. So, very, very good day. Any plans for tonight? Is there any hockey? I mean,
no. I mean, playoffs, not for me, no.
When do you get back on? Is that going to be the fall?
I probably won't be playing until next year.
Oh, next year or next season, like the fall, or you're thinking?
No, I won't start. Yeah, I won't. I can rejoin mid-season, so I'm thinking maybe at the beginning of the year.
You're like that guy that's on the injured reserve where they're just calling in the reinforcements at the end.
That's what
get that playoff push.
And then when I step in, you know what I mean. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna get back on the rollerblades, right? Like we'll get back on the rollerblades first, but get our stick.
You're doing the running and you're getting the.
Now I am, which I'm gonna be doing this evening. We're gonna try to get outside and get a nice little run in here today and hit the calisthenics workout. But
so we want to thank everybody for watching. I think it was we had Joe and I had a lot of fun. So it's been the first time that we had done a show together. I think it went real well. So.
No, we done one before. No,
yeah.
We done. Oh, all right, whoa.
You guys did shows together in March of 2025.
March of 2025.
Yeah.
All right. Joe, it's been a really great time doing my first show with you in a year. Thank you, Joe, for that one.
You can't trick Adara. You have to know she has
I'm not trying to trick her.
insane.
Who said we're trying to trick her?
I told her not everyone is as accurate from their data as she is.
Joking.
I mean, we haven't done a show in a year. Like
Yeah.
Joe has obviously improved. I've probably gone the other way in my hosting
so
abilities.
relax.
But I think, so it's been great doing it with you here today.
Yeah.
So
Does anybody else want to grade their lunch or no? I'd say we're going to cut things off.
yeah. What do you girls think?
I ate lunch. It was food.
Yeah,
and
Adara.
now I will not
Yeah.
be cooking the salmon fillet that I bought, so it does impact my dinner, and that's the only extent to which I will review lunch.
Okay.
Because I don't want to eat salmon twice in a day.
Okay.
I would say I like the bread because I love garlic and I
Okay.
love bread, but I don't know. The salmon tasted weird for me, so I am gonna cook salmon tonight.
Whoa.
Holy crap, salmon's very popular around here.
I told you I had it multiple times over the weekend. You never gave it a rating though, Sia, but that's okay. We don't need to give it.
Remember, we can't. Adara is not rating the lunch.
Yeah, she's not rating.
6.5.
Woo.
Okay, 6.5.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right, man. Bed Bath & Beyond, all these names coming out and reporting. So you're going to join us tomorrow. Joe's got to get out of here. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Joe, for everything.
I got to do my taxes, man.
Oh, man, me too. I just got to push send. Thank you to Joe.
Why would it? No, hold on. And before we send it off, if all you got to do is push send, when the last time you were at that step, why didn't you just hit the send?
I still have one more thing to do. It's like,
all right.
No, but I couldn't put, no, it's ready to go.
Okay, it's ready to go?
It's a matter of.
All right. I'm going to do TurboTax, my guy.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm using, TurboTax,
right,
Self-file, it's pretty easy to do that right there. But, all right, thank you so much to everybody. Tax deadline day is April 15th in the States, so they're already.
Ours is the 30th.
Yeah. So, but if you have self-employed income, which we should because we're trading commission over here, you actually get an extension as well. So it's actually not even really due on the 30th. But okay, stay classy, Toronto. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Neil and I on the ones and twos. Joe and Sharif back to usual business tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Ciao.
Last break.